Boom, boom.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Is this considered the season premiere?
We're gonna say season 2.
Season 2 premiere?
Season 2.
Season 2 of the TurnDown. It's your boy Kendrick. Back here with my brothers. Mr. Miles Malone with the UMBC sweatshirt on, as always.
Yep. Hey.
And we got Peter Parker himself.
Yeah.
Peter Parker himself, Mr. Tim Edwards in the building, man. How you guys doing, brother? I know we've been hanging out all day, but I always got to start it the same way we started all the time. Man, how y'all doing, man?
You know, pretty good. We're all in the same room to record this for the first time.
Yes.
So we're using one mic, trying that out. It's a good time.
Yeah. Sorry for the lack of visuals this week. We will get that sorted out, but don't worry. You listen. It's a podcast. Listen to it.
Yeah, you get your content.
Yeah.
You're good. We got some, and we also have some visual content coming to the page. We're gonna do some recording after this, get some cool shit done. So you won't be completely, what's the word I'm looking for?
Disappointed?
Here comes the 12 taco box.
The 12 tacos.
Oof. So I guess I don't know. Do we have any life updates? Do we have any updates for the podcast?
Well, I just spilled on myself.
Oh.
That's a life update.
Yep.
It's just water. It's all good. Gotta stay hydrated.
Yeah. Any life updates? We're still the same. Applications are still open. So ladies.
Oh.
Hey.
Miles Malone.
And be careful because they could be closing soon.
Miles is
ABC, always be closing.
always be closing. Listen, I'm gonna tell you ladies one thing. Mr. Miles Malone right here, he's becoming a hot commodity. So if you've been contemplating possibly finding out if you have a shot, or seeing if the stars will align, you definitely want to hop on this train now because it's about to leave the station.
It's leaving the station.
It's leaving. Same with Tim.
It's miles away.
You know what? Oh, jeez.
Both Tim and Miles are hot commodities, man. They're ready for the taking, man. These brothers are ready to go.
No, never mind.
Nah.
I almost just the free world, but
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. I don't want to get too personal, or anything like that.
you just asked if we had life updates. Kendrick.
That's pretty personal, dog.
Damn it. That was a personal question. Well, I don't know. No updates. I mean, hey, I'll blanket a statement. I am still in love, so I am not looking at all for anything, and won't be. But
we
respect to
you
these brothers. Yeah. I'm glad that y'all respect me with that, man. Cause y'all my brothers, and I'm supporting y'all with all of your dreams. I'll live vicariously through you.
This is a year of introspection.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Life updates. I guess I'll mention that.
Only if you're cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's a podcast, man. This podcast is the guys. So recently, after a lot of change and stuff's going on, I found out a couple of things about myself. I found out I was suffering from depression for the past year, which I was completely unaware of. For anyone that did listen to the podcast, like back when we first started in season 1, I think we talked about depression in one of the episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And even then, I was speaking from a place of like not really understanding it, and I was like, "Oh wow, like that's crazy to think people can go through certain things and think certain things and all of that." But I think once I got talked to a therapist and found out like I indeed was depressed, and then I look back on all of the symptoms and how it ruined relationships or ruined myself, I was like, damn, like I was suffering, So going to therapy weekly. Talking to somebody weekly, just surrounding myself with people that love me and I know, support me as much as I can. And in addition to that, found out I have ADHD, severe to mild, and, taking care of that as well. So just clarity, man. Just clarity. That's important. We got an apartment.
Yeah, that's true. Life update. Yeah. Well, so Kendrick and I, we have an apartment. We are roommates. That's pretty big, It's weird living on your own, even though we're living together, but it's still like without our parents.
Yeah.
You know, it's good to know that I can afford it. Because rent is due tomorrow. Oh, when y'all listen to this,
We'll be paying rent
we will be paying rent
online. So I get, and then the worst part about paying online is you get to wait to see it come out of your account.
Yep.
So it's delayed.
Oh yeah.
So like it takes like 3 days. So here I am thinking I got X amount in my account.
But you don't.
But that's okay because we made this decision knowing we can do it.
I miss a free bed.
You can hear the tears behind their.
Let me just
Their
put this
lines.
out here. If you don't need to be moving out of your parents' house,
Let it wait.
ignore the background.
I'm gonna close the patio.
It's like WB and they never left. But yes, we are recording this from our apartment. And yeah, if you don't need to leave your parents' house, if they are not kicking you out, just stay.
No need to leave.
Yeah.
Just if they're not, if it's like trust me.
Maybe get yourself a salary first.
Save your money.
Yeah. But it's fun.
It's fun.
I mean, we come home and chat it up some days, and I don't know, it's cool to know, like, hey, I think the best part about living is living with a friend.
Yeah.
Because if this was like a roommate situation,
Or just a rando.
where it's a random,
Yeah.
I genuinely, one, don't think I would have done it.
Right.
And two, even if I did do that, it's like, that's a fucking bitch.
Yeah.
Like, to live with a random ass person and just walk home and it's like, hey, guy, like, I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm feeling that.
So, I'm glad that I made this decision with Kendrick. But it's something. It is. Yeah.
It is something.
But hey, oh yeah, that's right. Another life update. I'm no longer a corporate slave to Domino's.
I think that was already on the.
Was that a
That was
thing?
definitely on the last.
We talked about when
How long was that?
That was the last episode we recorded was in May. That was the last one we released, May 30th.
Oh yeah, true. And I started
May
working at
28th. We started
Guitar
working.
Center the next day.
Yeah, it was very.
Oh, I thought you were about to say the next slave.
No, I mean, anyways. But yeah, so any of our musician friends, I'm gonna put this PSA out there.
Oh, shameless plug.
And hey, it's gonna help pay for our rent. So
Yeah, this brother needs that commission.
if you need a new guitar, need some equipment, microphones,
Need a
trust me,
center. Get to that guitar center.
Anyways,
Oh.
come down to the Guitar Center Glen Burnie, ask for Miles.
Yes.
If you ask for anybody else, I'm not going to be very happy.
Yeah.
If you're just
Don't come if you're not gonna ask for Miles. Just don't come.
Just come, ask for me,
You can join the Miles High Club.
and then
Smooth.
Miles hates me today.
and yeah. So come on down, help your boy out. I like paying rent.
Okay. Go to Guitar Center and buy Miles if you need something from Guitar Center, because
go.
this brother's really trying to get that commission up. Help the brother out.
I mean, don't say it like I'm doing bad. I'm doing pretty all right for myself, but it's always good to have more.
This brother needs the commission. Go, this brother. He's been fucking with this bottle of ice for the past hour, and it's not even. You hear this? It's barely ice in here, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my God, you just clipped the microphone. I'm watching.
I'm gonna have to edit the shit out of this.
Anyway,
Sorry, I'll just do noise reduction.
Yeah, if you can't tell, we went to Taco Bell. I just had a Baja Blast.
got a 12 taco box
Yeah.
with Cinnabon delights.
I got my big box.
You got your big box, and then some cheesy gordita crunches.
Yeah.
One of the most unhealthy but satisfying dinners that I've ever had.
I mean, considering how much food we got.
That was a lot.
It was $50, which is like a 5-course meal at Taco Bell.
Breakfast, lunch, dinner, dessert.
I mean,
snack.
I think we have like 3 tacos left from that whole ordeal.
Yeah.
The fact that we have 3, I mean, I feel pretty good about myself because I thought we was gonna knock all that shit out. I thought it was just gonna be straight.
Well, we all ate our main entrees.
Yeah. That's another life update. Taco Bell. That's like.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Oh man.
So don't worry, guys. A little rusty. We're getting back into it. Don't worry.
Nah, it's happening.
Think
happening.
outside the box.
I do have a question though.
Yes.
Because this is something I was thinking about. I mean, how do you guys feel? Because this is I don't know. This has been on my mind a lot. How do you guys necessarily feel about? How do I even put this?
Where's this gonna go?
I truly don't know.
We're gonna get canceled, aren't we?
We aren't gonna get canceled. We aren't gonna get canceled.
Sued.
Oof.
Damn it.
How do you guys feel about the whole Dave Chappelle situation?
I knew that was gonna change.
Oh.
I had to ask just because I mean I think
haven't watched all of the.
I haven't finished the whole special.
Yeah,
yet.
me neither.
I did reach a lot of the points that were being clipped though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I reached all of the stuff I saw on social media, right? And I guess background for anybody that's listening and doesn't know, Dave Chappelle, one of the greatest comedians of all time. He's my favorite comedian of all time. Recently dropped a special. Was accused of a lot of transphobia, a lot of insensitivity. I think it was more so the insensitivity to certain topics. And he got, quote unquote, it was an attempted cancellation.
It was really weird.
Dave Chappelle is
You
kind of
can't
like,
cancel.
because he kind of does it to himself.
He's one of those people that are kind of hard to cancel just because of his pedigree. I think that because of all his past stuff, like he's one of those people who's like, yeah, he's Dave Chappelle. He's gonna say something. He's gonna say some shit that's not going to make everybody happy. And I think another interesting point about that. Now I haven't watched the entire special yet, but from my understanding, a lot of what was taken out, a lot of it was taken out of context, and then because there was a comment that he made, that was less than great.
Yeah.
But then he immediately followed it up with defending trans people, which was where it was kind of like, all right, maybe we need to take a step back and actually, like watch this entire thing to see what the overall context of it, because he's Dave Chappelle. He's never going to say something that he's never going to be 100% PC all the time.
Right.
You're not going to get that from him.
Right.
However, I don't think that the intent was malicious.
Yeah.
Now, of course, I'm not trans, so I could never,
We're never going to be able to relate.
Yeah, to be able to relate and say, like, oh, well, I understand, like, you shouldn't be mad about this. I would never say that to somebody because that's how you feel about things. Like, I would be pissed off if a white person told me not to be offended by racism.
Yeah.
So from that perspective, I'm not, going completely the other way and saying like, oh, Dave Chappelle did nothing wrong, get over it. Because I mean, at the end of the day, it's like that's the reaction to how they felt, and I think there could be a conversation had. I don't think everything's as black and white as a lot of people are making it.
And I think the thing in my head that came to mind, we live in a society now, and we've spoken about this a little bit with the cancel culture stuff and all that stuff, but I think we live in a society now where it's like, okay, if you don't say what a lot of society wants you to say, you're wrong. Which I don't think is true. And I think especially when it comes to sexuality. Because sexuality, now granted, there's a lot of things about sexuality that's very concrete. Like I believe in the difference between gender and sex, right? Like that's something that's concrete. That's not fluid. And he mentioned that in special, and I disagree with him. Because I'm like, okay, I think gender and sex, that took a while for me to understand, but I know there's a difference. But when you start talking about a lot of different sexualities and new genders,
so let's clarify things. Are you talking about sexualities? You're speaking about sexual orientations, right?
Yeah, sexual orientations.
Are you
the
talking
newer
about
types, like
are you talking about gender identities? Which one are you?
I guess you could say both. Like things that are being introduced. Because there's a lot of stuff that 5 years ago we never heard of.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
You're talking about like the difference between like. So you're saying like the difference between biological sex and then like the societal gender identity?
No, not the difference. I'm saying there is a difference between gender and sex.
Gotcha.
Like a lot of people don't make that separation.
Yes,
that's true. But I'm saying I think now we're in a place where it's like, you have somebody like Dave Chappelle commenting on the newer either gender, and I'm not saying they didn't always exist, but I mean,
they weren't as mainstream, or they weren't for various reasons, a lot of which being like prejudices and everything.
Yeah. Like the majority of people did not know they existed. So I don't think it's right and this is just me, and I don't think it's right for us to be in a place where it's like, okay, you don't understand, you just said something that's completely wrong, you're done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's so wrong.
Yeah.
And we're at that point now. It's at a point where it's like sickening. Because I'm like, you can't. Dave Chappelle is one of the most, I mean, just from his humanitarian work and the amount of people that he's put on and put in positions of being successful who were, not successful before. This is not a guy we're looking at that discriminates based on race or sexual. He had a transgender comedian who's going to put on his special, who had no one else in the community. He mentioned that in the special. No other people in the trans LGBTQ plus community that reached out and gave him all this backlash. He mentioned, okay, where were you guys when she was a comedian that was trying to break into that field and was telling me she had so many problems in LGBTQ clubs, in LGBTQ bars with no good reception. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to feature her on my special, but because of a joke that I made, right? When people make black jokes all the time, people make all types of jokes about all types of things you should not joke about. But I guess when it comes to sexuality, I've seen a lot of people say like, "Oh no, that's not something you joke about." Mm-hmm. Which is like, where do we? My thing is, one, what is the limit on what I can't know in 2021? Mm-hmm. Because there's a lot of stuff that's every day. I feel like there's something else where I'm like, okay, I wasn't aware of this. And two, I just think people need to pump the brakes a little bit on, assuming certain things just because somebody said something that you may think, hey, this sounds totally wrong. When in reality, if you listen to the whole special, he literally brought up a story about how I was giving this girl an opportunity to shine, and her community had shunned her. And granted, she committed suicide, I think about a year ago or 2 years ago. And one of the number one reasons was the feedback that the LGBTQ community was giving her because of her, love for Dave Chappelle. Mm. And it's like, I don't know. I don't know what y'all think.
I think that it's like, I think it's something we spoke about with the cancel culture episode. There needs to be more room for. I'm going to be careful with how I say this because there needs to be room for more understanding. To a degree, of course, there are definitely lines.
Yeah. Right
now, there's lines where it's like, oh, this isn't a joke. This is just you shitting on somebody else. That's like one of the things. Like one of the number one rules of comedy is you never punch down. Mm-hmm. But they're also it's comedy, so there has to be some pushing of the envelope somewhere. Yeah. But you can also do that without being outright offensive. Like just being outright offensive isn't funny.
There's some. I will say though, there are some comics that make their whole kind of act being like the anti-comic. Like Anthony Jeselnik, for example. Mm-hmm. It's like really like shitty offensive stuff, but I enjoy it. Yeah. Like at least when he does it, I honestly wouldn't like if someone just said that to me, like stuff he says, I'd be like, all right, what?
Yeah. I mean, Cat Williams is a good example for me.
Cat Williams too.
You want to talk about punching down? I mean, that brother, all he does is roast on stage. That's what roasting is. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where we get into the discussion of like, where is the line drawn? Like, can we not joke about certain things?
Because there is also I think that's another point. There is also the argument that, well, that happens to us all the time. Like we get joked about all the time. Like it's whatever, and we're just supposed to be expected to just be like, like, oh, it's a joke. But then, on that same coin, we know that like there's a point where it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
So I think that's where it's finding where that is, because I think the argument that's brought up is like people are actually being killed over this, which is true. Mm-hmm. But it's the same with us.
We're being killed.
So there definitely I've heard things that are definitely too far.
Yeah.
And then of course there's the idea that, well, society is always changing. It's ever changing. It's always, moving forward and progressing. So then why can't comics also do that? And I think that's just a point to be brought up. I'm not saying that that's necessarily correct or incorrect. I'm just saying that's, well, the jobs that were popular or that were making the most money 10, 20 years ago aren't. Yeah. Like computer science and information technology those are like, you know, like cybersecurity, anything that has to do with that. Those jobs didn't exist.
Now, I will say though, I think in that respect, I agree with you 100%.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like when it comes to the changing of society, when it comes to professions and things like that, that's not a choice.
Mm-hmm.
That's by necessity, right? Like the world needs more IT people.
Yeah.
The world needs less warehouse workers now,
Mm-hmm.
right? When I feel like when it comes to beliefs,
Mm-hmm.
I always hold the belief that is a choice.
Mm-hmm.
I do not at all in any way. Now, unless I'm saying things that are outright offensive and causing harm,
Mm-hmm.
I do not have to change with the beliefs of society.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of the new beliefs of society I'm not like on board with. You know, like I'm not gonna sit up here and say like, oh, I'm an LGBTQ plus expert now. Because so much more awareness has been brought to the topic. I have learned a lot more for sure. But now, and I don't think it's wrong for anyone to not be 100% on board with everything new that's brought to the table. Because somebody can introduce a topic in society right now and be like, yo, I think it's wrong that everybody does this. And it's like, if I don't agree with it, but most of society does, does that mean, you know what I'm saying? Do I have to now
I think
agree?
I think that's the thing where it's like,
That's where it gets tricky. And that's where I feel like we're at, where it's like,
I think that's where, like you said, that's where it gets tricky. Because,
Yeah.
I mean, you have to think about society but then we also, if we hold that view of like, oh, you know, like you shouldn't, there was a point where it was socially acceptable, perfectly socially acceptable for one person to own other people.
for sure.
And somebody could have believed fervently in that.
Yeah.
That
They still do.
that I am less than a person because of the color of my skin, or that I am not even human, I am subhuman because of the color of my skin. And there are people that still believe that, of course, but that was a mainstream thing at a point. And as time moved forward, more and more people realized that's not really right. And today, would you say that somebody is and my question to you then would be, would somebody be wrong to say, well, I just never let go of that belief, for example, that belief that black people are subhuman? You would say that
it's your belief. It's how you were raised. Like everybody has I think upbringing plays a big part. I think society, you know, where in society you came up plays a huge part.
Of course, yeah.
Because that's embedded. You know, like somebody who's racist. Now, granted, I think a lot of people are racist. You can be racist by choice, and you can be racist by just growing up in a racist society. You know, but I don't. If someone came to me today and said, "Yeah, I don't think you're a human. I don't think you're human. I think you're some type of an animal because you're black," and they say like that's how I was raised, and that's like what I was taught from birth. It's not right to say that. Like I'm not. It's definitely not right to say that. But am I gonna say you're wrong for thinking that? If that's all that you know, whoever taught you, and that lineage, I think I don't agree with. But I can't come at you and say that like you're wrong for believing it, because there are people out there. First of all, people still own people in parts of Africa. Like that's still a very fluent thing
in this
country, right? So like it's not. And I feel like I also look at it from that agenda as well. When you mention like there are people that own people and stuff like that still exist in other countries. It's like we live in a country that prides itself so much on liberating others and freedom and all this bull crap. Yeah. So okay, if we're gonna go by this law of we need to change a society in the most so-called liberating country in the world, why are we not doing anything about a slave trade that still exists? We were verbal. Yes. We're very verbal with let's all change. Let's keep the same attitude. Okay, why don't y'all give a fuck about where's the action? Why is it all talking? Yeah, that's where I draw the line, and I'm like, look, I can't force anybody to change with society. Like, that's not my job. I don't think that's anyone's job. Yeah. If anything, if it's harming people, you got to stop it. So, like, if you believe that people can be owned and you're actually actively trying to do it, then that needs to be stopped.
Well, so here's my thing about that. And I definitely see where you're coming from with, that's how a person is raised. But I think that is used as an excuse, whereas it's really only a reason. Because there are a lot of people, a lot of older citizens who are very racist because they grew up in a different time. But there are also plenty of people who have changed, right? And everyone has the opportunity to change, right? And it's really a choice to not to not change. And I think that maybe not all change is necessarily beneficial.
Right.
But I think that if you hold a belief that is like intrinsically about
A certain group of people.
harming another group of people,
Right.
you know, they don't necessarily have to be themselves slave owners, but if they say no, I believe that's right, then they are contributing, you know, to the ideal of, you know, of slave owners. Even if they have never like owned a person,
Right.
they might teach their kids.
Yeah.
And what if their kids go out and do it? And that's just how I was raised.
But I think, I agree.
Yeah.
I just look at it from a realistic lens. And it's like, I'm not...
No, I get you. I mean, it's almost...
Because we can never crush ideals.
No.
Like, we can never fully dead an idea.
It's true.
So it's like, that's why I just like, I can't say it's bad, because like, what... Am I gonna stop?
I think you
it's bad.
definitely can say it's bad.
You can just acknowledge that.
I mean, like, I can't say
to
like,
change.
hey, it shouldn't exist.
Well,
Because like, it's never not gonna exist.
I think you could say in an ideal. Now we don't live in an ideal world.
Right.
That's where the issue comes from. I think you can still say that's bad.
But do you give up on
But
something?
you can, while still realizing that we can't. There's not much. We can't do anything to completely cut that out.
And that's what I meant. Where I will acknowledge if somebody comes to me and says, "Hey, I should own people," I'm going to be like, "Okay, I don't agree with that, and that's wrong."
Well,
like, I would say that
in that moment, there is nothing you can do about that.
Exactly. So that's why I'm never going to say you're wrong. I'm going to be like, I don't agree with your perspective, but I can't sit there and say, "Nah, you're wrong for thinking."
Yeah.
I can't because
but you know what you can do is you can try and educate other people on you know the value of those people's lives that are being owned, you know. And so I mean I think that's where that comes in. I think even if you fully believe that we can't change those who hold those beliefs, you know, for the better,
right.
You know, assuming we are on the right side of history, but also like if you believe in human rights, you are on the right side.
Exactly.
As long as you're fighting for other people, and it's just like we can do that through, you know, education,
right, and understanding. And I think that's the problem that we run into so much. It just hits a wall where it's like, okay, the attempt to educate is so piss poor, where it's like you don't educate by canceling. You know, with the whole DaBaby shit, I think did we actually ever get a chance to speak?
We never
spoke about that. Yeah. That's crazy. So that whole stuff, you know, people, I'm sure listeners understand the whole DaBaby situation where what he said was completely just terrible.
Yeah.
Got on stage, you know, I'm not even going to repeat it, but he mentioned some extremely homophobic things against the LGBTQ community, specifically involving AIDS, which in itself is that's like talking to black people about the slave trade.
Yeah.
Where it's like, you're talking to them about something, an epidemic that killed millions.
Sore subject.
I mean,
to say the least, sore subject.
I used to work with a guy who was gay in the 90s. What happened?
Don't worry.
Oh, jeez. Okay. I used to work with a guy who was coming into his sexuality in the 90s. I didn't mean to say gay. He was just coming into his own in the 90s. And he started realizing a lot of things and had a lot of friends in the New York, New Jersey area. And,
keep talking, please.
Do I have like a booger or some shit?
No, it's not. It's literally not you. He did something.
Oh,
don't worry.
I just want to make sure I don't look fucking terrible.
I'm trying to keep this professional. But
fuck. Anyway, this guy in New York and New Jersey area in the 90s was starting to come into his sexuality and start going out to clubs, things of that nature. And he originally had a group of friends. I don't know if I already told the story, but he had a group of 10 to 15 friends. And out of those 10 to 15 friends that were all either gay or bisexual at the time, I think only 2 of them are still living.
Wow.
And he lost 10 or 12 of them within the span of like 5 years.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
And that was what gay people, bisexual people, anyone of those, you know, transgender people were dealing with the AIDS epidemic.
Right.
So to go on stage and say, yep, if you're not doing this and doing that about AIDS, directed at the gay LGBTQ plus community, is just disgusting.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, even something as severe as that, it's downright offensive, it's straight up offensive, straight up homophobic. I don't think it's right to respond as like, all right, your career needs to be done. As much as I hate, and I don't even like dude's music.
Like, there's all the kind of shitty thing about that is like, even if you think like his career should be done or whatever. Like, and again, that's a belief that someone holds, but it's like, just fucking stop listening to the music, man. You know, you don't have to like don't complain to higher ups about that kind of thing.
Hey, Sony Records, how could you have a guy like this signed to your label?
I mean,
that's like asking the guy that owns a gas station, like, why are you getting gas from this? It's like, what?
It's not an like HR problem, obviously, because he's in the industry, and so it's about consumerism. Just fucking stop listening to music.
Make the conscious decision to just ignore the.
And I mean, and people might say, you know, boycott or whatever, but like that. I mean, honestly, that's whatever. That's your choice if you want to do that or not.
Yeah.
You know.
I think with that whole situation, I think it comes back to the whole thing about, you know, how there was almost no room for re-education in that situation. Where the first thing was put him to the sword. Now, granted, like I said, I fervently disagree with everything that he said. I don't appreciate his music. I don't like him as a person because some of the videos I see of him, even in other situations,
he's had a lot of.
He's like not a great guy. I firmly do believe that based on what I've seen. Now, of course, I don't know the man, so I could be completely wrong.
But he seems like a piece of shit.
But if he's willing to do some of the shit in public, I don't think in private. He's
like when he gave those fucking kids that asked him. Clearly, they're on the street selling candy. Clearly, they're not in the best financial situation.
Yeah,
and they ask you for $200 because they typically reasonably make that in a day on a metropolitan street. People can drop 20, 30. They're gonna make 200.
Yeah,
and you laugh at them and say, "Hey, I was gonna actually give you guys something, but." Nah, I'll give you $5.
That's just so shit.
You're riding up with a wad of cash literally in your asshole that you pulled out of your fucking
his prison wallet.
Your Jimmy Choo boxers right now. Yeah, literally. Literally. You just pulled it out of your Jimmy Choo boxers and you flash it to the kids. You like wave it around.
And he videotapes
He's
them.
videotaped it too.
I mean, that's just like...
So now their faces are attached to this. Their livelihoods are affected because now it's like, oh wow, everyone's gonna walk the streets.
It's
and see
also
those
like,
guys.
man, why are you fucking picking on kids? Like,
because he's about 5'2" and has a Napoleon complex.
No,
because he's the baby.
Where are my keys?
You know what? It's moments like that where I'm just like, and I look at a person like that, and the thing is, I'm not going to sit here and say that, because we don't know what the hell happens with the label, and after that statement was made, I mean, you had him getting canceled from festivals.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure they were scrambling, and I saw so many people online, they were like, oh, well, don't give him another chance, because I'm sure they re-educated him. It's like, what re-education? I didn't see much out there. All I saw was critique and hate. Which, granted, yes, he did spew hate.
So I think there's also the thing of, before we get further, there's also a part of personal responsibility.
For sure.
Yeah. I think DaBaby, at this point, I mean, if you're signed to a major record label, they have classes on that shit. Like,
they don't give it. They don't give it.
Like, don't say this shit.
No, they don't give those.
Yeah, I know.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
but it's like,
they do not.
But there has to be a certain point where somebody on your team has failed you.
Yeah.
It's the whole the thing about the being famous is unless you're white. Right, which is the sad part, or I guess maybe not even just white. I think a lot of minorities besides us get a lot of advantages. Yeah. But in hip hop, as a black artist, they want you to be yourself. Like they want you to be yourself to the point where you have the NBA YoungBoy kid who's in jail right now or just got out of jail. I'm sorry, you're making millions of dollars a year to rap on a stage. How the hell are you in jail? In any way? Oh, battery. How is that? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Those are the people that they're pushing. So I don't even think hip hop has ever been that genre to get those classes and get that education.
But I mean, even with that, I mean, there has to be someone in his camp, because he has a PR person, because that was the person who did his bullshit apology.
Yeah.
Somebody at some point had to be like, listen, you can't do this shit because they'll put you to the fucking sword. And I think there comes a point of personal responsibility too, where you say, I think that he deserves to be canceled and he should never ever make a living again? No, I don't believe that. Everybody deserves to be able to live and provide for themselves and their families. I wholeheartedly believe that.
Yeah.
At least have a chance to.
However, you also reap what you sow.
Yeah.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. I mean, if you're going to go out and do something that the thing is, there's no way on earth you've been looking at it, paying attention to American culture, pop culture for the past 10, 15 years and seeing people lose their livelihoods over shit like this and then think, I'm going to do this. At a certain point, I'm like, you can't do that. Now, should there be a chance for redemption?
Mm.
Absolutely. If you can actually go out and show that you've changed and that you've educated yourself, absolutely you deserve a second chance. But that does not absolve you of the consequences of your actions. Just like with anything.
I think he looks at it like, I think the way that he looked at it as a rapper specifically is like, listen, I'm in a genre where snitches, because we live in a different society.
That's
right?
also true.
Society has changed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rap is now a genre where you can have a federal informant still go out and sell millions of records, which is in itself, like when you think about hip hop, it's like, what?
It's like antithetical.
We got snitches in hip hop that are still selling millions of records that are known snitches and came out and then did this gimmick where they're like, oh, fuck it, I'm hard, I'm still this. It's like, you're a literal snitch and you're still famous. Mm-hmm. So that in itself is like, I think that's where he looked at it like, I'm never going to get canceled just because I said some homophobic stuff. Like, which, when you look at it, his numbers haven't gone down. He's still doing what he does. He's still making the same song over and over and over again, and a bunch of people are streaming it. Like,
I think my personal problem is because we can talk about like all day whether people deserve to. I mean, because it's also kind of a case by case basis.
exactly.
But like, honestly, my personal problem with like cancel culture in general is just like, you see something that upsets you, and you immediately go to like Twitter or Facebook or Instagram stuff, and you're like, this person deserves to like it. My problem lies specifically within like, I mean, you can tell your friends like, hey, like I'm not doing this right now, and that's fine. But it's just like, why
the call to action of like, you need to do this, they're terrible, because I believe that they're
and
terrible.
it's all so like there's that, and it's also like, I mean, why do you care? Like we put so much stake on like celebrities. And I mean,
too much importance.
I guess there is a reason for that, and like I was saying with
that's
consumerism, I mean that's what our whole basis of society is on. But like, media and influence and all that.
It's an unhealthy obsession now.
But there's just an unhealthy obsession. Like, I mean, me, I could list off so many like movie stars just because I watched so many movies, so I know like all names and stuff. But it's just like, but I don't really care about their lives. Like, I mean, I care that they have lives, and it sucks that paparazzi,
But I think that's the thing is we don't realize celebrities are normal people with a camera in their face all the time.
Right.
So they're
It's also why celebrities are so fucked up.
Yeah. So like, there are going to be people with these beliefs. DaBaby's not the only one who holds those beliefs.
Oh no,
There's
plenty of people without.
And I mean, the thing that actually the point that you made about like his numbers haven't gone down, his numbers probably ended up staying the same because there were a bunch of people who agreed with what he said.
They said, damn, somebody finally said something.
And then they started listening to him.
He says what we're all thinking.
Because, I mean, you go into, like, an Instagram comment, like, recently, I'm a big soccer fan. Anybody that knows me knows this. Recently, there was an Australian player who came out as openly gay.
Oh, yeah.
And all of the players from around the world have been like, oh, good job, like great, this is really brave and everything. But you look at comment sections about this, and like it's just awfully homophobic. Yeah. And you'll see like one of these comments, and it'll have like 2,000, 3,000 likes. Yeah. Under this post about like why do we need to know about this? Or whenever they make a post about women's soccer.
Yeah. And
I mean, you can smell the comments before you can open up that comment section. It's always, make a sandwich, get back in the all that kind of stuff. Right. And you realize a lot of people still have these thoughts, these thought processes, these, outdated thought patterns. Yeah. So it's kind of hard to cancel somebody when not everybody's on board on what is to be canceled. Right. And I think that it's more these outbursts that you see DaBaby having and everything. It's a symptom of an issue. Yeah. It's not the issue. DaBaby is not the first person to ever be homophobic. He's not the last.
Fuck no.
Far from it.
And he didn't even do the most homophobic thing when you think about it on a scale. Like, he said some fucked up shit, but, like, I've heard a lot worse.
Like, you hear a lot worse.
Yeah, on the street. Not even dudes at my job. Yeah. Like, dudes at my job, I mean, I'm not going to repeat it because I don't use that word in my terminology, but, like, dudes at my job still using that word.
Yeah.
Frequently. Like, on a regular basis. Like, yo, nah, that dude's just regular.
Just like it, and, like...
And I was like, this isn't even, you know what I'm saying? It's sad that these brothers are black and they are my people, and that's just a matter of society, access to education, right? Like, they're not. That's why when people always harp, if you go out and you go to North Avenue and you want to harp to a dude out there about, oh, why are you saying that word? Okay, come to my school and see exactly what I'm being educated about.
Stay on my street.
For a night and see what white person I might run into that has lived in a metropolitan city that can educate me on sexuality.
Schools
it's not
are
there.
Funded locally by
property taxes.
And so that's why poor communities
stay poor.
Yeah, stay poor.
It's a cycle.
Yep.
You know, and it's like when you want to when you put the pieces together, then you'll then see why so many people are uneducated. It just so happens that a majority of those people come from our community.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's one thing that
that's a big
it
thing.
Sucks to look at that and be like, yo, black people, you know, really, of course, you know, they're fair share of white people who are conservative and Christian that have that mindset too, but it's like, we don't talk enough about even the democratic liberal black people that are against the LGBT community.
I usually find that a lot of black people are actually more conservative.
Oh yeah.
Than
they think.
And the only reason a lot of the times that they don't vote that way is because the you know, more conservative parties, in this case, in this day and age, the Republican Party, tend to be more openly racist with their policies and stuff.
Exactly.
If it weren't for that, you'd find a lot of black people would be Republicans. More of us would be Republicans.
And the funny thing about that debate, too, is like, okay, yeah, you're not voting for Ted Cruz because of his openly racist policies against blacks, but it's like, you're a classist. Yeah. You know what I mean? Black people are class, and that's another aftershock of slavery and all of those things. But it's like, we've got a huge, and that's in every race, but black people, it's a huge class race. Yeah. It's a class fight. It's like, oh, I live in Waldorf in this 2-story house. Yeah. You black and you live in this apartment here. Yeah. You're not like me. It's like, brother, you're black. Yeah. You are me.
Build each other up.
We build each other up, man.
If a cop pulls you over on the side of the road, it doesn't matter. You're still
black or white.
Black to him.
Yeah. The black cops sometimes will be worse.
Oh yeah, black cops. Yes.
They showing out for the white guy. Oh, you drive. This is your car. Yeah. Oh wow. You know, I'm not allowed to own a nice car, and then you're my brother, right? Yeah. We're supposed to be from the same motherland. It's so sad that we live in we still live in a society.
Lack of sympathy from those who've made it, in quotes.
Mm. Yeah, I think
what I've kind of noticed.
Another big issue that kind of ties into that whole thing is that a lot of these issues, these social, societal issues, kind of come from our. I have started saying that the United States is not a first world country. We always tout ourselves as the best. You know, we are a third world country in makeup. I mean, our infrastructure's not good.
No.
It's like it never left.
It followed me here.
Jesus Christ.
Our infrastructure is not great. No. I mean, I can't drive to school without damn near bursting my tires on these fucking potholes in Baltimore County. You know, like we have. I mean, our please. I try not to. I think I just shit myself.
I just sharted.
But we talk about, like our school systems, how because the way that we run things, everything's decentralized. So every different localities, they have to look after their own school stuff. Like Tim was just saying, schools are funded by property taxes. So if you live in a poor area, oh well,
you're assed out.
Good fucking luck.
There was a
while somebody 2 minutes away is doing just fine. Yeah. We have just an awful homelessness problem. Like
that they're now working to not only continue but just I guess eradicate by making them live in worse conditions, which is
like the
what?
It's just, you know, and we talk about like supporting the troops. We have enough vacant houses. We have more than enough actually vacant houses. Like way more.
There shouldn't be a homeless person in Baltimore City.
I was gonna say just in the city of Baltimore.
Just in the city.
Just in the city.
Yeah, just in the city.
Let alone the entire United States.
You know how many rooming houses you can make?
Oh yeah.
I mean, are you kidding me? Like people already do that.
I mean, it's always support the troops until they come back and they're fucked up mentally because we sent them out to kill children in the Middle East. But then they come back and they're fucked up from that and they can't get a job and then it's like, well, you should have worked harder.
Right. Yeah. Or better yet, if you come back from being a troop and it's like, okay, I didn't get my college degree. I went straight out of high school. Right. I did what the recruiter told me was best.
I got tricked into
this. I fought for 10 years. I now have PTSD. I'm coming back to get a job, and the best thing you can give me is Home Depot.
Yeah. I have no job skills outside of shoot
to kill that you guys have trained me on and said these are essential, giving me all these bullshit ass medals and awarded me for being a one-trick pony. So when I come back and you ask me to do 2 tricks,
I'm asked out.
It's like, oh, well, you can push carts at Walmart. I served this fucking country.
Instead, you're drawing smiley faces on receipts.
Right. Have a good day. Checking motherfuckers' bags to make sure they didn't take 2 instead of 1 toilet paper roll. When everybody was worried about shit during COVID, motherfuckers was like, yo, we just gonna start shitting.
Yeah, I remember that. Remember that shit? What's up with people? Every time there's a goddamn epidemic,
they worry about their asshole.
They go and they take all the goddamn toilet paper.
It's some shit, man. It's that
Taco
Bell.
Is that
Taco Bell, man?
I think we're lucky so far. I was like,
I'm good. I know my stomach's jumping. I'm probably gonna wind up shitting tomorrow, but like right now, it's just bad.
You got a toilet at work?
Those Cinnabons.
I'm shitting here.
Those Cinnabons delights, man.
Those Cinnabons.
Those were delightful.
They were delightful.
Go get you. I'm sorry. This is off. Go get you the Cinnabon Delights, man, from Taco Bell. Just try to.
Every time we turn on this mic, we're either like professors or complete degenerates.
Pretty much. There's no
you want to talk about range?
Oh, yeah.
The fact that we can go from a lecture to sit there talking about some Cinnabon Delights.
Taco Bell, please sponsor us.
No, dead ass. I mean, Taco Bell should sponsor us. Sprouts. Whatever happened to that sponsorship, Sprouts? Y'all remember when I got sick? Whatever happened to our sponsorship?
No, we don't want. We're gonna get sued by Sprouts, Kendrick.
Fuck that. I'm speaking
because you called them a Whole Foods knockoff.
I mean, let's talk, brother. Have you? I mean, we're not gonna go in depth, but like, have you been to Whole Foods?
I have been.
You know how nice Whole Foods is.
So Whole Foods, please sponsor us.
Whole Foods, give us a sponsor. Look what I'm out here doing. I'm out here knocking the competition.
Or like Sprouts, if you like want to give us. We just need money.
Yeah, I'm with it. We can be your commercial guys.
Chase the bag.
ABCs. Always be closing.
So if anybody wants to sponsor us, like, give us some money, maybe help pay for that rent. Ooh. Hey, hit us up at what's our Instagram? Damn.
TurnDown Pod.
At TurnDown Pod on Instagram.
Literally just a TurnDown Pod. That is our Instagram.
Yeah, I should definitely know that. It's 1/3 of this podcast. Anyways.
Oh my God. Oh man. Well, recently, in other news, I've seen recently, I think Adele's new album is about to drop.
Oh, yeah.
30. She always does the age thing, which I love. I like that theme. I think she had like 19, and then 21 was her big one.
Favorite brand of computer?
What?
Adele. I'm with it with the dad jokes.
You're done. You're done.
I think I just got to go fill my tank up.
Anyways. Damn, look at the time.
Neither of you guys have asked me to leave with it, which I think is interesting. I'm the one.
9 o'clock. This is a perfect time to wash my clothes. Let me head to Sudsville. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I saw her album is about to drop, and I feel like there are certain artists, whenever they come out, it's either a certain time of year or it's a certain. What I do?
I just got the side eye from Miles.
I was just sipping on air.
Yeah, it's because you're sipping on air. I think it's when you sip on air. I think it takes away.
You're not even sipping from the ice, man.
God damn it! Give it up.
No, it still has ice in it.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm doing the same thing. Man.
Jesus Christ, y'all are twins. Anyway,
Adele's new album.
Adele's new album's coming out. I was just saying, there's certain artists, every time I hear them, or every time their albums come out, it's like either at a certain time, but like the world is like sad.
Yeah.
And it's like, like, where's that album?
Where is it at?
Where's that at? And now Adele's dropping like, somewhat post-COVID, I guess. Like,
yeah.
It's weird though, because it's not normal for Adele to do that. Adele normally drops like at a sad, everyone's sad, or like she's sad.
Yeah.
But she's dropping it like a really, because it's not post-COVID, but like we're at a good point.
Well, she's living her fucking best
she's
life,
dating, Rich Paul.
Yeah.
She's with LeBron's agent. That was
good.
Go ahead, Rich.
Oh yeah, I was like, good for. I was like, good for Rich.
Always be closing, man.
Always be. That brother closed. That brother closed. I mean, better than any contract he's ever done. He's closed. Yeah. Because and you're already the number one sports agent in the world. Like, there's no bigger sports agent than Rich Paul, and he doesn't have a college degree, which is crazy. Yeah. But guess what they tried to do in the NBA because of the color of his skin? Yeah. They said we're going to now try to require agents to have college degrees. Now that got a bunch of blowback. Yeah, because it's not going to be a thing because that's stupid. If I know how to talk and do contracts, what the fuck do I need a degree?
Yeah, I know.
So, but
what happened to this is totally unrelated. What happened to Coldplay? Is Coldplay still doing
Yes,
shit?
they just dropped it album.
Oh, really?
I listened. I liked it. I liked it. But I am a Coldplay stan.
Oh yeah.
It's like there's never been a bad.
I
fucking love Coldplay. They get so much hate, so much bullshit. When people want to compare them and Radiohead, I'm like, that's like comparing Stevie Wonder
they're different.
and Michael Jackson.
That's totally different.
Like I look at Stevie Wonder as this musical genius. Yeah. I look at Michael Jackson as the best entertainer of all time. I'm not gonna compare them.
I can see that.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna sit here and say.
I like Stevie Wonder's like generally. I like his music. More, I identify with it more. Yeah, but I will say, there are a lot of Michael Jackson arrangements that I like more.
That's like the other.
But in general, I like
ago when we like just listened through Mike's catalog.
Oh my god! When you think about another big thing that's been big during COVID is this versus stuff. You know about the verses where they pit the two artists against each other. When you think about Michael Jackson and the shit that pissed me off, this is what I'm going to talk about. The shit that pissed me off.
He's pointing angrily.
I'm pointing angrily. I'm sorry you guys can't see this on video, but you will see it soon enough. The shit that pissed me off was when motherfuckers had the audacity to try to talk about Drake as this generation's Michael Jackson.
Oh.
Did you guys see that shit?
I did not.
You didn't see that shit going around? It was big.
Pull your finger out of your ass, man.
I mean, just...
Nobody has their finger in their ass here.
Michael Jackson...
That was a hypothetical.
And people said it with their chest. Yeah. They were like, yo, no, Drake is definitely...
I'm not talking to anyone at this table, but if you're listening
no
to
fingers
this
in the ass
and you think that Drake...
On Champlain Drive.
And you think that Drake is...
Don't tell them the drive.
They don't know the place.
That's true, I guess.
But yeah, they were like, yeah, Drake is definitely this generation's Michael Jackson. They can have a versus and go toe to toe. It's like, no. So when Michael Jackson plays Thriller, what are you gonna play? Childs, what are you gonna play? Hotline Bling. The fuck? That's gonna be so bad.
Stop it.
Stop it. Or it's like Michael Jackson plays Billie Jean. Like I can list off right now if I just think Billie Jean, Thriller.
It's Halloween.
Don't want to be starting something, right? Thriller, perfect.
Yeah, want to be starting one of the best music videos of all time.
Beat It, Rock With You. Just those 5. I don't know if anybody's gonna go against that 5.
It's close to me. Something evil lurking in the dark.
Simone.
Anyway,
I don't think.
No, I'm enjoying this movie.
For a while, Janet. I just don't think anybody's beating that 5. And I mean, I love Prince. I love Stevie. I don't know if you can beat that. You know what? I just don't know if you can beat that. I don't know if you can beat that 5. Like, and I don't know of any artist. Like maybe the only person I would say maybe can compete is probably Stevie. If you get Stevie's best 5, like best, because you can have like I Wish. But even that though, like that's not beating Thriller.
But I mean, also again, that's not really this generation.
Yeah, you know? I don't want to hear Beyonce. Ladies and gentlemen, please don't come at me with that bullshit either, because that shit kills me. The Beehive is probably gonna crucify me. But I don't.
Yeah, actually, let's not mess with that because they are.
It's called a Beehive for a reason.
Yeah, it's called a Beehive.
Out of all the fan bases I've seen, they actually get shit done.
Rihanna would do that to Beyonce. Yeah, period.
Stop it.
Let me brush my hair so y'all can hear. Rihanna would do that to Beyonce. I'm saying it now. I'm saying it now.
You
Only
said it.
girl in
You
the
said it
world.
before.
Kendrick said it. Now,
Only girl in the world.
honestly,
Disturbia.
Actually, we it might help our algorithm because people will just come and dislike stuff, but that still counts. That still gets
That still counts.
Exposure's exposure.
Yes.
at this point.
I mean, Rihanna's catalog is just surefire, man. Like, it's certain artists where I'm like, yo, I think there are a lot of artists that are overrated, that are just given so much praise, and I listen to their music and I'm like, this is, and I'm not saying Beyonce's that, because Beyonce has some fucking bangers. Let's not get it wrong. B-Day is one of my favorite albums of all time.
Yeah. I mean, this is known, but I think Drake's overrated like hell.
Oh my god. I will say Drake's ability to be maintain dominance.
Yeah,
That's
second to none.
Commercially, besides Michael Jackson.
I respect that.
Besides
like,
Mike.
Commercially, he's probably one
Commercially,
of the
he's
just most successful artists ever.
And not just rap. It's like he's one of the
Never,
most
full
successful artists. He always has, every single summer, Drake for the past, I think, 10, maybe even 11 years, has managed to have a song that ran the summer.
Yeah.
Like, he had a song where everybody was, I think last year it was the Hotline Bling thing one time. It was like, the something for what? That song, it was the remix of that song, Care for Me.
Oh, yeah.
It was the remix, that one.
What was the...
Yes. The Running the Challenge.
Yeah, it was the running.
The long run. It was so bad.
It was really bad.
It was so bad. But that was a hit. You know, and I forgot that was off of one of his albums that was so bad. But like, he just finds a way.
I mean, even with CLB, I mean, you already have
Loverboy
it's
stuff.
just it's already blowing up.
Oh yeah.
So as far as like making stuff that everybody's gonna know,
Drake can do it.
Drake can do it. As far as the musicality of everything, and
And
of course we're speaking to this as musicians, so
We're a little biased, but I mean, also I think there are so many non-musicians I know that I've talked to before, and they're like, you know, Drake is just really, I don't like Drake. Yeah. And I'm like, damn, like, it's so nice to hear that it's not just me sometimes. Because some people will be like, well, you know, play music, you listen to jazz and all this shit. But it's like, I love a lot of rap. Like, that's the thing. It's not about what I listen to. Like, I listen to Mobb Deep, motherfucker. This don't got nothing to do with rap.
I think
like, come on.
I probably have the least to go on in this category because I don't usually listen to popular stuff as much. Like,
I'm not a pop.
And if I do, I listen to like older stuff. You know, like I listen to 80s pop or I listen
Notes,
to
baby.
Yep.
Hall & Oates.
Or I listen to
us. They're watching you. Every move. Yeah.
anyways.
Or like, you know, like 2000s, like rock. So I like, you know, White Stripes.
Listen,
like that, you know.
Nothing. I don't know if there is a time. Okay, if you had to list off your top 3 eras and genres of music, your top 3. So that I'll give you a decade, and I'll give you a genre. If you had to list off your top 3,
Are we talking only? Okay, well, if
you
we're
get
just
to pick a decade and a genre.
if I'm just talking about, oh wait, so top 3.
Top
right?
3 decade and genre.
For a decade, I'm gonna talk only about popular music, 70s, 80s, and 2000s, early 2000s.
Ooh. Wow.
Because early 2000s still had a lot of 90s stuff.
Yeah.
And it kind of, you know,
That's what I say that
solidified the pop thing, but it was still in that kind of new thing where it was still a little bit, you know, I don't know. There's something about it I kind of like. It's just nostalgia, I think.
Right.
But, you know,
it's jumping.
it is jumping.
Give me a break. Give me a break.
I wonder if the mic picks
Did you
up.
have to tell the listeners that?
They might have heard it.
I bet they heard it. We got the Yeti mic. It picks up everything.
Damn it. My stomach is jumping, man.
But that's what I say. And then, I mean, genre, this is just me. What?
I heard it again.
Dude, leave me the fuck alone.
But like, I mean, I just like, you know, genre is really hard. I mean, jazz is my top because I just love jazz so much.
Yeah.
Probably like.
Ooh, that's tough.
Well, jazz is really tough too because jazz is in kind of all-encompassing genre for me.
Yeah.
But I'll say like jazz, rock, and hip hop. Those are my 3 genres.
I think.
Oh man, that's tough.
Not necessarily in that order.
My 3. So I'm gonna do more of a combination. So 70s, like soul, like funk, like that kind of like I'm talking like Earth, Wind and Fire.
Yeah, Marvin Gaye,
Marvin Gaye, all that
Gaye.
stuff. Like definitely up there for me
Yeah.
because it was still like was what you said, what Tim said. I'm a jazz musician. Like that's where my education is.
Yeah.
It's all about love.
Yeah, and then the end of that one.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Oh my God, that sounds.
Yeah, and oh my god, yeah, the end of that was like.
Yeah, that was like really modern. Anyways,
Holy shit.
like Stevie Wonder, all that stuff. Like where
Yeah.
it was still like, oh, this is like jazz, but it's being the harmonies and all the theory is being used towards something that's maybe quote unquote hipper.
Right.
Yeah.
And I love listening to that stuff. There's a lot of like room for samples with that stuff too.
Oh, it's endless stuff to be sampled.
Endless stuff. I love finding like an old record from some like miscellaneous artist from like the 70s because no matter like everybody back then was on it.
Yeah.
Then my next one would definitely have to be like late 90s, early 2000s, like R&B neo soul.
Yeah. That
like Soulquarians, like Erykah Badu, Jill Scott.
India Reed.
Yeah, just like all like that stuff I could listen to for a while. Like
Maxwell, D'Angelo.
Yeah, just all of those people. Because I mean, that's where I get a lot of my inspiration for my own personal music from. And then my third one, this is where it gets a little hard. Because.
Please don't say no the goddamn 2010s.
No, not 2010s.
I
wouldn't say 2010s.
2010 is when I started listening to like Daft Punk and like I only listened to like Daft Punk, White Stripes, and Jack Johnson. Like the three.
You were big on Jack Johnson.
I still love Jack Johnson.
Yeah.
Man.
I wouldn't say 2010s because that feels too that feels too recent. Just to be like, oh yeah, that's my favorite genre. Though there is the nostalgia of that's kind of when I was coming up and stuff.
Yeah. Important. Yeah.
So maybe if you ask me this question in 20 years, I might have a different answer.
Right.
But my third one would probably have to be. I really like. Damn, I can't even.
It's tough. It's tough.
Maybe even early 2000s pop.
What was pop
all
in
of
the early
that.
2000s?
Just like any. I mean, because you also have to remember that like pop. The term pop, what pop is changes.
Of course. Back then, I think it was more. Wasn't it more like R&B based?
It was back. No, that was neo soul. And R&B was not the hip thing. In the
well, the thing is, if you're talking neo soul and R&B in the 2000s, Ashanti would be considered pop compared to an
I'm thinking more.
Britney Spears.
Britney Spears.
Britney Spears.
Are you talking? Oh, well, early 2000s. No,
you're right. Not early.
You're talking
2000s.
Britney Spears,
I'm talking
Christina Aguilera.
Oh wow,
That's
like it's kind of like because like that's stuff that I remember from like
Genie in a Bottle.
Black Eyed Peas.
Genie in the Bottle.
So like, that's stuff that I remember from when I was like really little.
Yeah.
Like some of like when I hear a song that it's like I remember that from when I was like 4 years old.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
I listened to I forgot. I'm just looking at like a playlist now with early 2000s throwbacks and Katy Perry. Yeah, lots of Katy Perry and Lady Gaga also though. I
think when her early stuff was probably around there.
And that's like Poker Face.
No,
that was
Poker Face was like what, like 2008?
2010.
I
thought Lady Gaga came at the beginning of the 2010s.
Oh, 2009.
Yeah, she came like at the beginning of the 20. Yeah, 08 was her first album. She had singles. I think her first single came out. Yeah, Poker Face was 2008.
Actually, you know what? I guess most of the stuff I listened to was
when I think early
2010.
Right.
At least pop wise.
Yeah.
I think 2000 to like 2006.
Yeah.
That's it's like Fergie.
Yeah.
Fergie was big with Glamorous and shit and like.
I think early Maroon 5.
Yeah.
Like stuff
Pussycat
like,
Dolls maybe.
Yeah.
For certain
stuff
people.
like that where it's not for me personally, but
yeah, Maroon 5 used to be the shit.
Not on the record at least. Anyways, and like that kind of stuff where it's like if I hear it, I'm like, oh man, I know this. Where do I know it from? John Mayer.
John fucking Mayer. And I recently had a conversation. Well, I mean, if the person is listening to the podcast, I had a conversation with this person a lot about Christina Aguilera versus Britney Spears. Just so you know, I actually have changed my opinion. I think Christina's better. I went back. Yes, and I'm a Britney Spears stan. And I went back, and that person was debating me. They were like, no, Christina's definitely better. They know who they are. The Christina Aguilera is way better. And I was like, I went back and listened to Christina's catalog.
Mm-hmm.
She's got some bangers. And I mean, just the... I think the execution, man, that's what I listened to. Christina was the closest white girl I've ever heard go to R&B. Where I listened to it and I'm like, she's like JoJo if JoJo had a lot of hits.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? Because JoJo can sing. She's underrated, but she don't got a catalog.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's the only thing that's holding her back.
Talent-wise?
She's got it. She's got it. She can sing her ass off. She has a groove that no other white girl has. Which is crazy because it's not a naturally, white thing to have that groove. It's great that she does, though. It's rare. But Christina's got the hits. Christina Aguilera has bangers. Like, I mean, I could probably list off, she's got at least like 20 songs right now that just go. They go. I'm not going to list them off, but they go. Yeah. I think for me, 90s rap for sure is just there.
Ooh, I forgot. Why did I forget about 90s rap?
The fuck you was thinking?
When I say 90s rap. I mean like classic, like 90s.
Man. Yeah, 90s hip hop.
No, I gotta change my 2000s to 90s.
Nah, you late. 90s hip hop was for sure the greatest, for me, the greatest decade and combination of decade and genre. I mean, off the rip, when you think about the 90s and you think about the fact that you had Biggie, you had Pac, you had Nas, you had Mobb Deep, you had Tribe, you had Outkast come up. Outkast was an afterthought in the 90s. Like, no one thinks 90s rap and calls out Outkast.
Which is wild.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because they dropped Atlians, they dropped Aquemini, and they dropped Superplay Cadillac Music in the 90s.
And
they're an afterthought.
Early 2000s was Speaker Box and Love Below.
Exactly. That's when they blew up. When they had Hey Ya and all that stuff. They had the Stankonia. Yeah. Stankonia was on early 2000s.
I've always liked... I think I said this before, but I've always liked Speaker Box actually more than Love
the
Below.
Big Boy joint. I can't say that.
That's just me personally.
Yeah. I'm not even a big Boy fan. I just love.
I do love
Andre 3000. So,
but I liked his stuff more on Southern Playlist of Cadillac Music.
Yeah, I'd see. I think you liked Andre when he rapped more.
Yeah,
I liked Andre when he got to his musical bag. Yeah, because Andre singing.
I will say, in recent years, I have been listening to Love Below a lot more.
Yeah. I just listen. You know what? I listen to Andre 3000's features.
Yeah.
If there's a playlist out there on Spotify, because he's for those who are listening, Outkast. Of course, I think most people know Outkast, but Andre 3000. Big Boy went out and did solo stuff because he always, Big Boy wanted to, but Andre 3000 faced a lot of anxiety. And his big thing was just, I don't want to release any solo music, which, oh, God, the world has missed out.
Yeah.
If Andre 3000...
I think we really only got Love Below.
That was it. And I don't even consider that solo. I mean, it was technically solo, but...
Yeah, I mean, they both still work together on all of those, but, I mean, that was the most that we got.
The most solo Andre will ever get. And then, I mean, I just went through and listened to all of his features on people's songs, and it's like, if you combine Andre 3000 with, like, a Tupac... And I think that might be it. You would get Kendrick Lamar. Like, I genuinely think that is... Andre 3000 is what Kendrick Lamar... Kendrick Lamar is what Andre 3000 could have been. I genuinely believe that. And, like, that dude is bad.
Man, I can't wait for Kendrick's new stuff to drop.
Everybody.
Because, I mean, listen to even those features. I know people were clowning him because of the... But I was like, honestly...
It's amazing.
He's about to just do whatever the fuck he wants.
I respect the hell out of Kendrick Lamar, man.
Kendrick Lamar is one of those guys you got to look at and just say, you don't have to like Kendrick's music.
No, you just...
But you got to respect
But,
him.
I mean, he's... I mean, first of all, he puts out hits,
He puts out classic... He puts out albums.
And he gives back.
Yeah. In a lot of ways.
Back a lot.
Yeah. Look at his cousin. Now his cousin is one of the biggest up-and-coming rappers in the game, Baby Keem, who no one was talking about.
Nobody.
3 years ago. And the guy's he just turned 20?
I think so. Something like that. He's like
Which
really
is
young.
crazy. He's touring, and he's about to go to 930 Club.
Yeah.
He's got Kendrick features. He's got Travis Scott features. He's 20 years old.
Yeah.
Like, imagine where a guy like that will be in 5 years.
Hopefully he keeps up the,
the momentum.
I think he has a good person in Kendrick to mentor him in that.
Kidding? Nah,
but
so
I can't wait for whatever Kendrick has coming because
Kendrick, when he dropping, just let your namesake know.
Let us know
so I can tell the people.
Maybe come on for an episode if you're listening.
I
Kendrick Lamar.
fucking wish. If we ever get Kendrick Lamar on this podcast, I'm literally going to shit myself. Like during the podcast, I'm just going to take a shit.
I'm not sure. I was going to say calling that right now, but I'm not sure if we want that.
Nah.
You want more tacos?
I mean, I don't think Kendrick's hurt when it comes to food. But if
he wants to come through and just sit with us
in this bare ass apartment,
well, hopefully by that point we're doing well enough that if we
got
can
a fourth check,
you're never doing well enough to have Kendrick Lamar come sit with you. That's Elon Musk well, like Dr. Dre well.
I mean, but the podcast would be at least doing well enough for us to decorate a little bit.
Oh yeah, we'll have some wallpaper. Maybe a big ass TDE sign.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of redundant though because he's leaving.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Big ass PG Lang sign. We can get his new label, his new thing he created. But 90s rap. Give me 65 to 75 jazz and funk. Mm-hmm. Actually, 63 to 73. I'll do that 10 just because I want to get like João Gilberto and all those guys in there because that was just. That Gilberto Gets album.
I have it.
You have the vinyl.
It's an original too.
It's one of my top 5 albums of all time. Yeah. Like that is such an amazing, and I know it's head ass. Everyone's like, "Oh, Girl from Ipanema," but it's like, bro,
dude,
they dropped classics on that album with Astru. Shout out to Astru Gilberto, the wife too. Just classic songs. You can play it at a dinner party. You could play it. I can play it and listen to it, the musicality, and be like, "Yo, this is really cutting edge for the time."
I when I was like starting to listen to a lot more jazz, I did the thing that everyone else does in the East Coast, where I like wrote off West Coast like players, and stuff.
Like the Paul Desmonds, the Art Peppers.
Although I still listen to Paul Desmond because I really liked I really like his tone because I actually because I've never been able to find the kind of like I really like two totally different kinds of tones for like alto,
right?
Where it's like the Paul Desmond, where it's basically like playing on a classical mouthpiece.
Yeah, he sounds amazing.
Quote Paul Desmond: "I just want to sound like a dry martini, and that's it." But and then like Cannonball, like those are my two favorite sounds. Yeah, but. I've honestly always been more like kind of
Paul Desmond.
Yeah, I've always
that Touch of Honey record, man. You put me on it.
Glad to Be Unhappy.
Glad to Be Unhappy.
Yeah,
that shit sounds.
I listen to that like anytime it's a rainy day.
I listen to it to sleep.
Yeah, like it's really good. And he's like he's super subtle in his playing, and Stan Getz is the same way. But there's more stuff that I hear. Like the more stuff I hear with Stan Getz, especially in his later playing.
Oh yeah.
He's pretty hip.
Like Stan can play.
Yeah,
like that's one thing.
There's that. He did a version of Beatrice that was like pretty good.
Yeah. I think he did a record with Chet Baker, man, and him and Chet. It was like a bebop.
Record. Chet.
They were going.
I also wrote off Chet Baker, and I've been listening to it again, man. And
there's Milestones. Are you kidding me?
No, the best version of Autumn Leaves I have ever heard.
Yes. Yeah, it's Chet Baker.
It's Chet Baker, Paul Desmond, and it's
that shit is amazing.
Oh, who's on drums?
Was it
Ricky on drums?
Is it we got
shout out Ricky?
Oh, it's
shout out Ricky Jefferson.
I don't think it's Kenny Barron. It's
not Buddy Rich, right? He only does
no. Jack DeJohnette actually is on that album, but he's not on Autumn Leaves.
PSA: Don't listen to Jack DeJohnette. Shout out to Pat Clark. Shout out to Pat Clark. Oh my gosh, my guy.
While we're at it, shout out to Sunstrider.
Shout out to Sunstrider. Yeah, for those listening to the podcast, Sunstrider Music. Go follow us on Instagram. Give us a like. We got a lot of content coming. Album coming soon.
Yes, soon-ish.
Soonish. We're keeping that under wraps.
Not very under wraps right now, but
it was Steve Gadd. Steve Gadd. And it's super great.
Yeah.
You see how I talked about Jack DeJohnette and that allowed for you guys to segue?
Sing with that LLC brand.
We only got that LLC.
We didn't make merch. Anyway.
But yeah, that's 63 to 73 funk. That 90s rap. And then give me 2000 to 2010 R&B. Yeah. That is just that time was just perfect. Especially, just give me. I like that Pharrell sound.
Yeah.
Whatever Pharrell did. Because the thing about Pharrell that's interesting is like a lot of people don't realize how long he's been at it.
Yeah.
People always see Pharrell and they're like, oh, Happy. Oh, he did the Snoop Dogg stuff. The Drop It Like It's Hot. Pharrell made, that song, oh, I want to do a little zoom, zoom, zoom. That's Pharrell.
Yeah.
Which that's 93.
That should be the Mazda.
I want to do a zoom, zoom, zoom.
I don't know
Boom,
why
boom.
they've never.
Just shake your butt.
Why do they never jump on them?
Because they don't want to pay him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They probably thought about it. I'm sure they said all those guys they pay to just sit and think.
Yeah. But then he was probably like, I need like
10 million.
Like yeah.
Which he deserves
Oh,
because
yeah.
my song is blasting somewhere in Shanghai
Yeah, exactly.
right now, and I'm gonna be getting fucking 10 cents a fucking whatever, like however many times I get, like 10 cents per 50 times it plays or some bullshit.
For the longest time, I thought Mazda was a German company. I think just because of the name, but it's Japanese.
Yeah.
Like, I always saw that and I was like, Mazda.
Yeah,
That's
Mazda.
gotta be like it's gotta be German. I don't know. Like, and it like doesn't even sound German now that I think about it.
No, not
It
at all.
sounds very
It's
Asian.
not even like
I don't even know if it
remotely.
sounds Japanese either, though.
It doesn't sound.
Mazda.
Because like Toyota, that's like okay, that's somebody's
Toyota,
last
yeah,
name.
yeah.
Honda, that's somebody's last name.
Yeah.
Like that.
I think even
exists.
Nissan, right? Or is it-
Nissan, yeah, that's also like
Nissan.
okay, that's very obvious.
Mazda.
Mazda.
No, the more I say it, now the more I like.
Mazda.
Let's not do that.
Oh, sorry, all of our German listeners.
Yeah, sorry, Germany.
Anyway,
We've all got it. We probably all have German lineage.
I don't know.
mean, I don't know.
My dad was born in Germany, but he's not German, so I don't think that's.
Maybe I do down the line, I guess.
I guess like
At some point, I'm sure the
there's
paths cross.
there's somebody white in there, and it's possible that they were of German descent.
Yeah.
I mean, just statistically speaking, because the nature of being black in the U.S.
You know what I was also thinking about?
What?
My mind has been I'm not gonna lie, my mind has been everywhere during this podcast.
It
Oh,
always
absolutely.
is. It
I
always
was
is.
thinking about this earlier. I was in the car,
Yeah.
and I was thinking about how every news channel, when they have breaking news, it does this sound where it's breaking news.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah.
MSNBC especially.
Is that like Morse code for
code.
something, or are they just do
Maybe
it?
it's just like a sound that gets
Do you
your
think
attention.
it's Morse code for breaking news? Maybe
Possibly.
that'd be pretty cool.
It's either Morse code or it's just
Or they
something
just-
to get your
It's just something to get like your attention.
Action 5 News.
Hi, I'm Wolf Blitzer with CNN Newsroom. It's like, Wolf, god damn it, you've been here for 50 years.
Witnesses
Wolf
called
has been-
911 after Shotty burned a fire on the dance floor. This has been Action 5 News.
On today's news, Akon threw an innocent fan off stage for absolutely no reason at all besides the fact that he called his country, quote unquote, fake. It's like, you said Akon land don't exist? It's kind of like Dr. Umar Johnson's school.
Anyway,
They were supposed to build
brother, the school's on the way. I just need gifts.
donations. Okay, $2 in the Cash App. Okay, next time try to make it 20.
I know you barely had that, brother.
That's so messed up. You're the one begging for money. I can't go to somebody like I've had homeless people do that to me, where you're begging me for money, and I take it. I'm kind, and I give you the dollar that I have. 'Cause I don't have anything else.
Thank you, big man. I know that's the best you can
You
do.
do.
I know that's best. God bless you, man. God bless you.
Fucking money back.
Straight up. I'm like, so you a chooser? Nah, I don't take my.
Give me my McDonald's coupon back, bitch. Damn it.
So you want this ham and cheese?
You should have been grateful.
You should have been
Looking at your
thinking.
pizza.
Should have been thinking. I should have been thinking about my life.
Did you just rap that?
Just rap that at us?
It's just, I'm not a rap.
That's the
so
PTSD
stop
coming out.
rapping at me.
Just a rap.
That's PTSD. Oh my god, I should have been thinking.
What's his fucking name?
Super hot fire.
Not Super Hot Five. I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about DBR.
Oh.
Daniel Bernard Romaine or whatever the fuck.
No, don't mention him. Don't mention him. You want to talk about us getting sued? Are you kidding? Are you
I said,
kidding?
no, he
You
would
got on
sue
me
me.
about the Sprout shit.
I gotta edit the show.
Are you
He
serious?
will sue us.
Nah,
I didn't say-
nah,
I didn't say-
I don't want to hear nothing. This brother got, listen, to the listeners of the podcast, this dude got on my ass. If you listen to season 1, he got on me about Sprout. He was like, yo, Sprouts could sue us. Sprouts doesn't even fucking listen to our podcast. You just mentioned.
Sprouse isn't even hopeful.
Oh, I'm not going to say that.
Well, I mean, you
I guess
already
I-
have.
I get,
I
no, but you have no room to talk. You just mentioned a
That was-
singular man.
That was entrapment. I'm sorry, Kendrick.
I mean, goddamn, this is fucking crazy.
I mean, unless this episode blows up, then
it doesn't have to
safe.
blow up for the dude.
I don't think he's gonna listen to our podcast.
He's not that big, and if this podcast just gets any traction,
Dang, slander.
Oh, see,
I didn't refer. Who am I referring to?
I don't know.
You mentioned. I'm not referring to. I don't know. You mentioned somebody. I didn't mention anybody.
Romaine.
For legal reasons, that was a joke.
Yeah, for legal reasons, that was completely
And it's
a
all
joke.
safe now.
Nah, but your ass ain't say that back then. It took me telling you, yo, what
It
the
doesn't matter.
fuck?
I just said it. He can't sue us now. For legal reasons, it was a joke. Sorry, Dan.
You really ballsy. And if he comes up with a contract and starts suing your black ass, you gonna take the UMB. If he wants the UMBC off your shirt, you better ask him how. And cut that motherfucker off. And you'll be walking around as a retriever. No UMBC. We don't even know what school you went to. just retrievers.
A whole. In this hypothetical situation, you think that I would just walk around with a sweatshirt with a hole where the UMBC.
He took all of your other shirts.
He took everything.
He took everything.
Everything.
He took the apartment.
Nah, fuck no. He ain't take that. Because my name's on the list too. This ain't a joint effort. He took all your shit. So he gonna take your protein powder. He gonna take your chili.
Not my chili.
Yes.
Not the chili.
Yes, and he gonna take the little ass ice that was in his fucking cup. He's gonna take that shit too. Like the fuck. He's taking all your shit.
Damn, it's almost gone too.
It's gone. The ice is gone. Listen, to anyone listening to this podcast, if you're one of those people that sips the literal air out of ice, I don't ever want to associate with you. I don't ever want to speak to you. I fucking can't stand this shit.
You live with me, dog.
Nah,
you don't associate.
I'm doing it because we already signed this lease, motherfucker.
Wow. Wow, so much.
What is here?
There's so much for brothers, man.
That ice is brother. Those are brothers in there.
I just literal spit take.
I'm just saying, okay, Miles is exception from this. He's an exception. But if you are the type of person that sips on ice until it is not there, like you just sip on air, stop it. People can hear you.
Dude, I chew my ice. I'm not.
Chewing your ice is fine.
It's the sipping.
It's this. It's where you're sitting in the movie and you're trying to listen to Ben Affleck say whatever line he's saying, and you hear somebody.
You know, I think honestly it might be like a tactile thing, like one of those things where it's like you have childhood trauma, so this is why you do this.
So like biting your nails.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Except it's just with sipping air.
What trauma did you?
I don't know. It could be like really like buried deep.
Yeah.
Well, I prefer you to do that than bite your nails.
Nice.
Biting your nails is a lot.
That's so much bacteria that's on.
Yeah, and people.
It's like one of those things that people do when they stop smoking. Like they have to have their mouth has to be
Oral
something. I never smoked.
Also, I know people that bite their nails and eat them.
I'm all right.
So that's pretty interesting. Like where they'll bite the nails and it's like, where'd the nail go, yo? Like you didn't spit that out.
Bar.
Right, straight up. Where'd the nail go, yo? You didn't spit that out. I don't see it anywhere. It's like, oh, you were hungry.
Yeah.
That's kind of nasty.
That is kind
It's like the people used to eat their boogers back in school.
Yeah, that's like, again, that's all the bacteria that's just up in
You want to talk about bacteria? That's pretty fucking foul.
Actually, now again, I'm not advocating for this. I heard that it's actually good for your immune system because it's like microdosing the bacteria. So it's like it's just like it's like a vaccine kind of thing.
Do 9 out of 10.
Now don't do that because it's disgusting.
Yeah.
But like I hear that it's good because of that.
Like eating like beetles and shit.
Yeah, because it's like when kids, like people always like just let him eat the dirt because it's going to strengthen his immune system. Now,
I will not.
Granted, there's yeah, don't do that. But
I had one dude I was in Boy Scouts with, and he was cooking some shit and dropped literally all of it.
Oh,
excuse me.
Oh, virus and threat protection. It's
okay. Oh shit! I thought the podcast.
No. It's virus and threat protection.
Ladies and gentlemen,
they heard us talking about bacteria.
Damn.
Oh, Steph, you know who that is.
Zuck's always listening.
Yeah, NSA.
Oh my god, I saw the scariest. I saw the scariest fucking picture last night of
he who shall not be named, because he will sue us.
Yeah, that's true. And it wasn't. I mean, it was of him, but it was like messed with. Like it was like Photoshop, and it was the most uncanny valley thing. Like,
I think I've seen exactly what you're
dude.
talking
It's
about.
this. It literally.
About.
It was. It like. And
does he have a movie made after his life?
Not
Are we
yet.
talking about different people?
What?
Not yet. Oh shit.
We're talking about
Blood Money?
Wait.
No, who were we talking about?
I was talking
because we can't
about,
name him because we don't want to risk liability. But
if you say,
give me a joke. Tell me a joke about the person that will make me know them.
If I say a joke, we're gonna get sued.
Well, no, but the thing is, if you don't actually say their name,
You're
then
not saying their
legally
name.
they have no
He's
standing.
a robot of a person.
Did they did their company by any chance change names
Yes.
recently? Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about. We were on the
That's
same
why I said, does he have a movie made out?
I don't think he has.
Yeah,
one
but that's
yet.
like a.
What?
Wait, no. I
No,
thought,
yeah.
that's right.
Yeah,
He did
Miles,
just
where were you?
Yes.
Come on, man.
That was like 2000.
11.
Yeah.
Like 12.
Really?
Yeah,
Or
Justin Timberlake was in
Maybe
it.
15. I have no idea.
Damn, I never saw that.
What's JT?
You never saw that?
I
Yeah,
never saw
JT
that.
was in it.
JT was in that?
He was the guy that
No.
was suing him.
Oh yeah.
Mhm. Yep, that was JT.
Yeah.
Really good job, actually. That was when I first found out JT acted.
That's right.
His acting career was new.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm surprised. That's why I said the movie. You were just like,
I had never seen it. I guess it just went
wow.
under my radar.
Yeah.
really bad. I didn't like it that much. I mean, it was okay.
Did you guys ever see? There's been so many Steve Jobs movies. The one with Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah.
Was that one just called Jobs?
I think so.
I think Jobs was the one with the British guy,
Oh, you know what? Yeah, you know.
the one who was on X-Men. He played Magneto.
The new Magneto, Michael
Yeah,
Fassbender.
Michael
Fassbender.
Fassbender. It was that was the one I
Love me
liked.
some Michael Fassbender.
Michael
Fassbender.
Fassbender was excellent. He was an excellent Steve Jobs.
Michael Bassfender.
Oh Jesus!
Fender bass.
Fender bass. Fender bass.
Hey.
Why don't
Wait, did Ashton Kutcher play Steve Jobs?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh wow, how was that?
I thought he did
That
a.
one was
I
pretty
think he
good.
did
I
a
think
good
it was
job.
received
Yeah.
actually pretty well.
Although-
Good job.
Now I'm not an
A good
action.
job.
I'm not an
Oh,
action.
Miles is taking.
You know what? He said you did a good job.
Listen.
And on that note, yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and get DBR your shirts.
Just give him all the shirts.
Just all of them motherfuckers. Just he gonna have a guitar set and a shirt. That's gonna be like his joint.
I think that's
Just like a
that's
soccer
work
jersey.
clothes.
That's my work clothes, though. Come on.
Just make it a soccer jersey. So was your soccer jersey. That
Blue
wasn't
soccer
work clothes. Senior year, that was your work clothes too.
Damn.
Yeah, sip on that ice. Sip on that. Not even ice. Sip on the. Because it's not ice
Because it's
anymore.
not ice anymore.
Take the eye out of that shit. The fuck out of here.
That was pretty mean, Kendrick.
I'm
Even the soccer jersey, I don't know. Why can't you just be nice to me sometimes?
Excuse me. Are we gonna do this shit?
Can you just be like nice?
Can I just not be a dick? Okay.
It's like feet fetishes.
Huh? Wait, what?
I don't
Whoa.
Whoa.
Tim,
When
you
I was
just took a
like-
sharp left.
You need
But
to
I was,
explain.
I don't know. I was just like, how the fuck does that?
How does a foot fetish become a thing?
How like,
Huh.
So that just made me think of one of my friends. They know who they are.
yeah.
Sorry to you for that happening to you, by the way.
Okay, after the podcast,
That's
you gotta let me know what the
interesting.
fuck you talking
Yeah.
about.
Oh,
I know them.
Yes.
Anyway,
I was just
yeah, I don't
thinking
know
about
how
that.
foot
Like,
fetish
it's
become
just like, man, I just don't.
It's one of those kinks.
I mean, it's got to be like.
Didn't we find out that it had to do with like
Oh,
something?
I think
yeah,
Jay
'cause-
said something about
yeah.
that. It was like
Psychological
it's
thing?
like actually something different in the
So
way your
like
brain works.
basically the gland that has something to do with feet or whatever in your brain is right next to the thing that controls like sexual urges. So sometimes like the pheromones and hormones and
Like
stuff will like
connected.
leak,
That's crazy.
and that's why it's such a common thing.
I thought it was just because some people got really smooth feet.
Now that could just be bullshit that Jay found on the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or a lie.
or just straight up a lie, or like it was a joke that we didn't get
Because
and
that
he
was
just didn't
because
correct
that
it.
was at the time where we didn't really know Jay well enough, and like he's kind of like a compulsive liar for fun,
Yeah.
and so it is possible that he was just like
He was just like, or it could have just been like a joke that we just obviously
I'm
didn't
pretty
get.
sure he fucked y'all up. I don't think it's no imbalance. I think it's just a motherfucker likes the way feet feel. And it's just like, yo, I
just
like
some
feet.
people. Yeah.
I don't know how you can like get to the point with the
I'm
feet
saying.
though. That's weird. That's
Yeah,
just
personally not my favorite.
nah. That foot shit. Nah.
Hold on, let's see. Why?
Because like I mean there are certain things about like I don't know like different parts of like people's figures I guess that are
Yeah.
more like I don't know like I like arms like I kind of like
What are we saying there?
I don't know just like like bigger arms
Like buff women?
I like buffer yeah
Like how buff are we talking? Like Beth Phoenix buff?
probably not like
Beth Phoenix is huge.
yeah not like huge
But you mean like a
athletic
Hope Solo
yeah
or like a Serena Williams
well Serena Williams is
built?
ripped
Yeah.
Yeah, like the strongest looking woman.
yeah
Okay, maybe not Serena.
I think
maybe
like
Simone Biles.
yeah
I didn't even get to what I didn't hear what started this conversation because I was looking up what
he just mentioned he liked arms.
Yeah, it's just.
And at first I didn't get it, and I was like, okay.
I don't know. I guess it's just an athleticism kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know.
Okay. I mean, that makes sense.
But it's not like. But the thing about arms though is that it's not like. They're not always dirty like feet, and that's kind of the thing where it's like.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
And I think arms are a lot more cut and dry.
Also,
I
don't know.
I know no woman is liking my feet. I tell you that right now, man. My feet have been through a lot. They've been through a lot. They've been through hell and back. I mean, my feet. I've had comments about my feet before that are like, I'm getting scratched.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh shit.
Oh yeah.
And it's not even by the nails, because when I was younger, I used to wear smaller shoes, so my big toes have like calluses, like permanent. The only way I would get them removed, first of all, I'd have to get the calluses surgically removed.
Oh no! So, here it is.
It's real. The gland.
So, neurological theory suggests that podophilia, which is the official term for liking feet.
Podophilia, not like. Oh
like
yeah,
pod.
because pedophilia is.
Yes.
Oh god.
That podophilia might develop because the feet and genitals occupy adjacent areas in the brain's somatosensory cortex, and there might be some sort of neurological wires being crossed. So while he stated it incorrectly,
it was correct.
That can be part of it. That's a theory for why it might be so common.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I mean,
I don't know. Is there like a feature that if you guys are like comfortable talking about, is there like a feature on like I don't know, maybe it's not like a common thing.
That's not like a common thing. No,
yeah.
like a feature.
No. I mean,
like is there like a physical feature that you're attracted to that's not common, not like your standard like
or rather rather not like explicitly like
that's nothing that's
like I know what you mean. Honestly,
it could even be like eyes.
Yeah.
You know?
For me, it's either like smile or like the lips, like the. mouth.
That's right. Because we were talking before about how like teeth, like bad teeth is actually like a deal breaker for you.
That's a deal breaker.
Yeah.
I can't.
So that makes sense that like a smile or like lips.
Yeah. If you smile at me, like I can take imperfections. I mean, granted, my teeth aren't perfect.
Right.
I have a tooth that's a little back, but if I look at you and it's like. Jumble. Like, this is traffic jam. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking like, if you have the one big thing that's a deal breaker, you can have straight, perfect teeth. But if you have one of those shark teeth that grow from the gums, I can't. Yeah, that's just so weird to me. Like, it scares me. Because I'm scared when I'm kissing you or something, I'm finna touch it. And if I touch that shit, it's a wrap. Like, whatever we got going... in the moment it's out. It's out. Like I got to go, cause I'm just like I just fucking touched. It don't even feel like a tooth. It feels like an extension of you, but it's not. It's a tooth, but it's like an extended, like a fucking shark. Like, it should not be there.
Like an extra row.
It's an extra row, and I'm like, oh my god, there's more up there. It's just the one that I touched, but like there's like fucking more. It's paranoia, bro. I can't.
He's actually paranoid about
it. I can't with that shit. That's the one thing. That
must suck about if you ever like date with masks on. You have no idea what
that's
the bottom
been
half.
Fucking weird.
What a person's
these
face
past like few years is
fuck?
like. Just not even necessarily being like, oh, you're not as good as you I thought. Just like not knowing what the bottom.
But rather like I have no idea
what you look like.
Yeah,
that's why you honestly you don't see as many people dating now. That's one thing I've noticed. The dating world has kind of quieted down a lot because it's like
we also have kind of unlearned how to be sociable.
Yeah, and nowadays our way of being social is so fucking weird.
Yeah,
it's like if a guy wants to hit on a girl or something, it's so wrong. You know? Or even if a girl wants to do it to a guy, it's like, one, they probably don't know how to.
It's like, well, how do you do this?
Really, nobody knows how to.
Well, because I think there's also the thing, like, what if they don't look like what I think they look like?
Right.
And that's the thing, you don't realize how much the bottom half of your face
it makes such a difference.
Contributes.
And I mean, just like to your personality even. Yeah. You're like, this is just like a completely different person than I thought they were.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Just because of how you look.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So I think our mind makes up the bottom half of their faces, like with whatever the likeness is of yourself, and I think that's why like almost everyone you see with a mask on, you're like, ooh, they look like they're really pretty, but then you're, well enough still probably are, but it's just like not in the way that you thought.
Yeah.
You know, because you're making it up.
There was one person, I wasn't like talking to them as anything, like I think I worked with her or something, and she had a conversation with me a couple of times. She would talk to me every time I come in. I was like, oh, she's cool, like just a real funny person. So like we joke around and stuff, and I remember it was crazy because she sounded like she had teeth. Like while we spoke, she sounded like she had a mouthful of teeth. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
please explain more.
From the people that I've spoken to in the past that don't have teeth. Not, again, it was not romantic. It was just like we worked together. It's like I would just have conversation with her when I was at work and be like, oh, hey, like, what's up? You know, whatever. So any person in life that I've spoken to that doesn't have teeth, I can hear it.
Okay.
And it's a sound. Like, it's like, oh, it sounds gummy. Like, it sounds very, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, very, like, just gums. Don't sound like a lot of, you know, no tartar, no nothing. Just, like, really gummy. But when I was talking to her, it sounded like it was a mouthful of teeth. And I was like, oh, okay, like, you know, whatever. So I think I got off one day, I clocked out, and I left the building. And she was walking away and then walking to her car or something, and my car was past hers. So, like, of course, I had to walk away. She was like, oh, hey, Kendrick, whatever. So I was like, hey. You know, we were talking, whatever. And mind you, we're outside now. So, like, you can take off your mask. Yeah. I chose not to just because I was, like, lazy. I was like, all right, whatever. I was already on. I might as well sweat it out so I get to the car. She yanks hers off while I'm, like, looking and laughing the other way. So she said something funny, and I was like, oh, that's great. You know what I'm saying? I'm, like, looking at the cars. And then she just took it off. And then when I turned back, look at her. When I say this woman had not one tooth in her mouth, like, she had not one tooth. But she was probably about, like, 30. 35. Had not one tooth. And she was smiling. The thing is, I was smiling. So she was smiling. But it was like, I knew my smile was a lot different.
This almost sounds like the beginning to a Dr. Seuss novel.
Oh, no. So
I just knew we had different smiles. Because once I saw hers, I immediately, like, I swear to God, I didn't feel my teeth with my hands, but, like, I think one of my teeth got like cold. So, like, my teeth were like, yo, thank God I'm here. Like, they just, like, it, like, settled it.
It's like when you see, like, somebody get, like, hurt on, like, a television show.
Right.
You, like, feel that
part of your hand. You're like, yo, oh, fuck. My finger, like, tingles.
The phantom pain.
Phantom pain, right. Or, like, if somebody, like, that video, the dude I showed you with the nigga that ran into the fucking pole in his sternum. My sternum immediately was like, yo, I'm here. And I was like
was grateful.
That's how my front teeth, like, just got a chill. And I was like, oh, shit. And it was so fucked up. Because after that moment... I'm not gonna lie to you. After that moment, we did not speak as much because I feel like I looked at her. I just knew her in a different way, and I was like, hey. Every time I saw her, I said, hey, but like I'd find something to do. I just like I would go because normally
that's an intimacy that you did not want.
Yeah, I didn't want to see that. Even though there was no intimacy between us, like she was just a coworker, and and we joked, but like that was just something I didn't want to see. And then when I saw it, it was like...
Didn't want to see that far.
Yeah, like all of a sudden, I just wasn't as funny. Like when we talked in the future, I just didn't really feel the urge to like crack a joke. Yeah, yes. Like because we at my old job, we'd have 5 minutes. We could clock in 5 minutes early and then sit for 5 minutes and then start your shift. So like every time, what I would do is I would just clock in 5 minutes early and just be like, yo, where y'all want me? Like I could just go start now. It was just weird, man. It's stuff like that, like teeth, corns on the toes. It's like if you got corn, you know corns, like big ass bunions.
Oh yeah.
That is another one where I'm like, as much as, and that's where I get kind of tricked up.
Yeah.
Because it's like as much as I work, I wear nothing but Timbs at both jobs. So I'm wearing Timbs at least like 15 hours out of the day, right? Yeah. I have not one corn. I have not one bunion. How the fuck? That's why I started asking these questions. Like, either you're just trying to squeeze in the heels that you should not be wearing.
Yeah, I was gonna say women do have to.
Women do have to wear them, but it's like
they don't have to.
There are alternatives.
Societally,
I guess, but it's like, yo, like I work a lot in my boots. Yeah. I got not one bunion. I have darkened toes. I have toes that are not the same color. That's I think that's fine.
This is an exclusive for the TurnDown family.
Well, I'm not going into detail about my stuff, but I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? Course, yeah. I have darkened toes.
You don't want to have people with a feet fetish, get too much. They can't.
They better not DM me on no shit.
Honestly, it might get us more money. You might
What
have
the
to take
fuck?
one for the
We
team.
said that before. Shit.
Literally going full circle back.
Okay. And if any niggas like dreadheads on this podcast and want to take you out on a date, you better suck it up and I'll buy you the picnic blanket. Take your black ass on the niggas. If I'm gonna suck up foot fetish requests.
Well, see, but that's so like inactive, right? Like going on a date with somebody is like I had to be in person.
I was a foot fetish inactive. I gotta get my foot ready for pictures.
I mean, but like,
And then my feet are so particular. You don't get these confused with nobody else's feet. So if anyone
really selling yourself.
That's what I'm saying.
nah.
That is the easiest 150 you've ever made in your life.
Oh my god.
You should overcharge for that.
Honestly.
You know what? I will never sell a picture of my feet.
Yeah.
Ever in my life.
Think?
No, this is not a possibility.
Times is hard.
Nigga, I work 2 jobs.
This could just be some little spending cash.
Extra rent.
You know what?
This is really
I'm gonna call Yogurt Girl.
Oh, hey.
And I'm gonna have her find your ass.
Hey.
Yeah, nigga.
Because you live here too.
That's fine.
You don't need but you.
I think you forget my mom's place is like 15 minutes away.
So I can just go.
I could take a vacation. And then maybe just send her here, you here. You know, she knock on the door, whatever.
I'm jumping off the balcony. And that's like I am dead.
She just holding up the Yo Play like.
We live on a 3rd floor apartment. I am jumping off the.
Shit. Damn. She see this fridge. She can be like, the only thing that's missing is yogurt.
Don't we have yogurt in the fridge right now? Actually,
Greek yogurt.
I think that's all encompassing. I think she had some of that in there too.
She had Greek yogurt as well.
To
mix Greek yogurt and regular yogurt
was
is so
miscellaneous
weird.
yogurt.
What kind of a person?
Oh my god.
Ew. Okay, let's not even. That's just nasty.
Yeah, that's a throwback.
That's a throwback. But yeah, I think feet.
Damals.
Anyway, I think the smile and the lips, chapped lips is a deal breaker. I can't do, and that's the thing. Everybody's different. I get you lesbian chapped at times. That's fine.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, if I see you every
like
single day, I mean chapped. I mean like bleeding.
Ooh.
Like you have bleeding lips. And now, granted, Accutane, the medication, causes really, really dry lips and dry skin.
Oh, I didn't know that it caused dry lips too.
Yes, because it sucks all the hydration out.
I guess that makes
So
sense.
yeah, that's why they tell you like drink a lot of water if you're on Accutane.
I never used. I mean, I had like acne, or I have acne medication, but I never used Accutane.
I never used Accutane either. I just heard it was so severe. I never wanted to try it.
But like the acne medication does like dry your skin, but I've never had
even the creams do
lips problem.
No, Accutane it takes all the moisture out. Like you have to put extra shit on. So like that. I don't know. It's something about that, especially if you're kissing somebody.
So yeah. So I mean,
I don't know.
See, your whole thing is like
mouth
the mouth
stuff.
like area.
Yeah, I mean, because that's what you do. Like in a relationship, you know, hey, bye, just quick.
Yeah, more cute.
Yeah, more cute.
I'm trying to think. What is my like non like not explicitly sexual thing?
I feel like everyone's got something.
Hair is big for me too.
Oh, I do like really nice hair. But then you also have to explain like what do
you mean by really nice hair?
Because that can be different things for different people.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes I feel like I have a pretty nice head of hair.
Yeah.
Right. I take care of it.
I just like being able to I think being able to rub your hands through it is important.
Well, not even necessarily that, because if I like, someone with maybe a thicker hair texture, I also like that too.
You can rub your hands through.
I can also run into that, but you don't want to mess that up too. You know how we are about our hair,
right? But I mean, like, I don't want something where it's just like.
I really wish y'all could see what he just did. It's like palming a basketball. Just
I don't want to just palm. Now, granted, if you have a short cut. That's different. That's totally different. So like,
but I mean, sometimes I'm like, even if I see a girl with like a shorter cut, like if I see a girl with like waves or something, and she's like really taking care of it, I'm like, that's nice too.
That's right.
But I mean, I think it doesn't necessarily not any specific, like hair type or hair texture. That's like really nice hair. Like I really, I don't. Eyes too are also a really big thing.
Yeah, you can't have no beady eyes.
But not even necessarily like the color of the eyes either.
Like if you got crackhead eyes, I'm not fucking with you, dog.
That's not
I'm
even
not
like
even talking to you. Like
I'm
not even a friend. Like don't come at me with no fucking like Jones Street. You need a fucking rock eyes, nigga.
But
nah, bro.
Not even like
You itch.
like the eye color. Maybe stuff like
So that means a lot of different things.
you know what? I'm trying to get this. I'm trying to move on.
Man, no, you look like you itch.
You itch, bro. Like you itching. You got bed bugs or some shit, man.
You look like you itch. I'm out.
Yeah. We gotta put that shit on.
You're at the
shirt.
dinner table. You're like, no, I'm sorry. You look like you itch.
I ain't even hungry no more, dog.
It could be like eye shape, you know,
You want dessert? No.
stuff like that. Doesn't have to be like a, God, stop.
Can we get the check, please? Garçon, please. Sorry.
Nah, she itchy as fuck.
No.
I gotta dip.
Does she look like she itch?
Damn.
Yes, sir. She actually does look like she itches.
Oui, monsieur. Oui.
She can cover the tab.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
That's cool.
I'm joking. I mean, you
Sorry.
But yeah, so like,
Itching, get that debit card.
stop.
Get that good credit.
Stop.
$750.
We're walking to the door. You see the couples and you're like, oh, you know he's in that relationship with the
Good
credit.
credit. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. It's like.
Oh yeah. Them brothers, man.
I'm like, she's bringing enough of the table, but good credit.
Oh yeah, no, she co-signed on that card. Like when they said co-sign her, she filled her name out with the quickness.
I was like,
like,
and
baby, I
the
got
thing
your
is, you
pen.
see the other way
My
too.
nickname.
Like walking through downtown Annapolis, I'm like, good job,
Yeah.
sister. He got good credit,
He
don't
got
he?
good credit. That brother works at IT. That brother works at motherfucking Northrop Grumman.
I'm like, and you gotta be like, good for you.
Good for you, because you know damn
It's
well
it's
that
good
you-
to see us.
It's good to see us, but what? That's the thing. Us brothers gotta get good.
Yes.
Because that's the number one reason. It's like you got brothers out here who be, and that's the thing about society.
I didn't get to finish.
Oh, you didn't get to finish. Go ahead, talk.
You know what? My favorite non-sexual thing with girls, good credit. How about that?
You was talking about hair.
You gotta set, like hair,
And
you know,
eyes.
like I like
Nose.
I do like a nice nose too.
Nose. I'm
But
not
then
really
it's
big
weird
Head,
because
shoulders.
knees and toes. No,
Maybe not the
not
toes.
toes. That's how we got onto
Not
this.
the toes. Not the toes.
But like you know,
leg shape.
explain.
If you got K leg, I ain't fucking.
Actually, I'm with you on that.
Yes, I'm not fucking with a K.
But
leg.
although I kind of like look at everyone's like figures. I think it's just really interesting.
Right.
Just kind of in a like I don't know. It's really interesting how everyone has a very specific kind of like figure.
If you look like you walk inward, no. Like if I look at you and I think like you walking is like difficult, I'm not.
Stop.
What the fuck? I'm not wrong. If you got a knobby knee, nah. What the fuck? Like if I ask you if you gotta jump, if it looks like you gotta jump to certain situations, it's like that nigga. It's like the nigga who's always picked last on the blacktop.
Oh no.
Like if you're that guy, if you're that girl,
No.
I'm just like, nah, that's not cool.
Well, I wasn't even getting towards that. But
Because I mean, knobby knees, like that's a real thing. Dudes are knobby knee too.
Oh, yeah.
It's more prevalent. I've never actually seen. Now think about, it, I haven't seen a woman with knobby knees. I've only seen guys. So I'm just thinking about like if I've seen a girl with that and like she's trying to holler, I'm just like, nah, hard no. Hard no. I don't know how I'd break it to her. I'd just be like, nah.
Eyes.
I wouldn't pick
Oh no! My mind went to it. You look like you wobbling. I could not say that.
Foundations looks a little unstable.
I feel
girl.
so bad.
Real quick, can you just dribble in between your legs, real quick? Let me just see how that looks.
This is so bad.
Let me see what
Wait.
that vertical jump is.
No, stop. This is so bad.
My name is Tim.
No, better yet, just ask him to just squat.
Stop.
Just squat real quick.
This is bad.
And if the knees
There's-
not.
That's something that you can't help, though.
Right, and I mean, I
this is-
can.
but you can't.
I can
but
help
you
being
can't,
with
you
you.
can't help. Yeah.
I can help saying this is not for me. But not for
I'm
me.
sorry because I really did say an offensive joke there, and I do feel bad. But this is what happens when we're all in the same
This
room.
is the turn down.
Yeah.
I just don't. It's not knees ain't for me. That's it.
We weren't even on
But
that.
not for me.
You got to say your piece.
Dun, 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 dun.
I've been
Hair.
I've been trying to get through
I'm
this.
so sorry, Mel.
And y'all just keep
Ears. What about ears?
Ears? That just reminded me of another friend. You know who you are.
I really didn't know who the fuck you talking about, because this is all interesting.
They know who they are, and when they listen to this, they're gonna but
Shit a brick.
Get ready to shitter.
What?
Stop. No.
I'm sorry. Continue.
Hair and eyes. I like a really nice smell.
Oh yeah, I think smell is the basic. That's the basic.
I was talking about this.
But if someone smells nice, I don't know. Sometimes I've met girls who maybe aren't like my cup of tea, looks wise, but they just smell really nice, and it tricks my brain.
Smells cozy.
Okay, it don't trick my brain. I think you got a different brain. Because I don't care. If I look at you and it's knobby knees, I don't give a fuck if you smell great.
Stop.
I'm not gonna be like,
Kendrick.
okay, if I look at you and it's K-legs.
It's a little too mean. It's a little too mean.
Okay, well, what do we call it though? What's the term? Is there a term?
No.
I just feel like
if there's a term, it's not good.
I just feel like this is bordering on ableism, and we should.
Yeah. That's that. Yeah.
Okay, well, if I look at you and it's like vertical, then I'm gonna be like, I don't care how much the smell is. It's like I'm still seeing like the vertical. It's like
the vertical.
I don't know. I just don't know. But smelling good is very important. I think that's vital.
Cause I've met girls with like neutral smells, and it's like, oh, this doesn't smell like anything.
Kind of neutral.
Nothing wrong with not.
Well, it's like that's like okay, that's cool.
Girl, you smell.
It's not something. It's not like not like a deal breaker. It's just like, oh, you don't smell like anything.
Girl, you smell. I don't even know.
Yeah, bro,
you smell.
But say if you just say you smell, then that sounds like it's bad.
Girl, you smell like an English garden.
Is that an insult? That's good. That's smooth.
Yeah.
You smell like an English garden. See, that's only a line you could say.
But I feel like
it's not a line that anyone
also,
of us
I'm not going to say
that's
that.
not a Kendrick Bowser line.
That's not a Kendrick Bowser line.
But also,
it's not a Miles Malone line.
But also, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say, especially to flirt, I'm not going to say, you smell like...
Oh, no, let me update you on Tim's flirting. That he didn't even realize was fucking flirting.
Oh, word?
We were walking yesterday and talking shit about like just him like being this ladies man, right? Because I think Tim is a savage, right? Mm-hmm. This is what he was saying, and this is in passing. This was not even him trying anything. He was like, "Yeah, sometimes I just if I go up to a girl, I'm just like, hey, I think you're really beautiful, right?" And then I was like, "Yo, that's smooth, man. Like you know that's cool." He was like, "Yeah, but the thing about that, he's like, I'm just saying it just because I want to make her day. Like, I'm not saying it to get anything." Yeah. But he was like, but, I mean, if she does want something, like, you can just come here. Yeah. I was like, dude!
I did.
Tim was savage! And then when I broke it down to him...
Gonna have to edit the shit out of this podcast.
Yeah, that's going to need to be compressed.
No, I can do noise reduction.
The noise?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. No, but, Tim was like...
Fuck out
I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. But when I broke it down to him, he was sitting there walking. He was like, damn, that's smooth. I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, that's smooth. Because you're going out and you want to just make somebody's day. And by making your day, you're saying, now, if you were interested.
Now they're interested. Now they're like...
Just come here.
Or if, maybe they weren't looking for anything, but now they're like, you know what? That just really made my day.
That just made my day.
Now they're thinking about you. So they see you again and they're like...
But again, like, that's not
the goal. It does not have to be goal. I mean, there's
That's not the goal, but I mean, it's like... That's what happens.
That happened to me the other day, the opposite way. Where a girl came up to me and she was like, I really like your sweater. And I was like, oh, that was really... She didn't have to say that. She doesn't know me.
Yeah.
She was walking in the hallway and I was like, that's really nice.
Yeah.
Like that.
See, that's the thing.
I think that's a guy thing where it's like
a
girl compliments you.
If you get a compliment from
and then you're
woman,
like, it's like, sorry, I just reached into my back pocket for a ring. I am so sorry.
I am the complete opposite.
Really?
Oh, you get turned off by it.
I don't fuck with it.
That's interesting.
Not because I don't fuck with girls that are forward, because I mean...
That's not necessarily forward. That would be a compliment, though.
No. It's just weird. Like, I don't know. I've always been the type of guy where I'm like...
Well, you like to... I mean, just even with, like... To be sociable with the person, like you need kind of an in with that person.
I need an in. Like I need some familiarity. You can't just come off the cuff and I don't know you and be like, hey, this is nice. Because I actually had that happen. I think on like Friday or something like that. And it was weird because it was like pouring and all this stuff. And I went into the library at Towson and there was somebody that was like, I think she was sitting at the desk next to me, and she liked like my hoodie. And I think she looked over and she was like, oh, like that's an anti-gun violence. I have a hoodie that says, I have a couple ones that say anti-gun violence. I fuck with a lot. She was like, oh, wow, anti-gun violence. Like, those are great. And I feel like a dick, but like my first reaction, I was like, oh, thanks. And I was like, keep it moving. I was like, oh, thanks.
No,
So I turned my headphones
that's
off.
fine. I don't think that. I mean, if you were like, who are you? Like,
Yeah.
That's dick.
That's
a
a dick.
dick.
Yeah,
I
but
thanked her.
I think to say like, okay,
But
yeah,
you
thanks.
know, you can kind of tell somebody wants to talk more.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's different. 'Cause
I think
like,
that's fine though. I mean, that's just any
Depends.
social interaction. That's like, hey man, you're not in it right now. Like, you're good. Like, just keep going.
I'm just.
I don't know. For me, if it's literally just like, because I think this situation was like we were both kind of moving in opposite directions. You just said it. I was like,
That's nice.
it's nice. It was like, oh, cool, you know. And it was we're in the same department, so I've seen this person before.
Yeah.
But it was kind of like, oh, that's nice. I've never spoken to you, but like that. I mean, it was pretty innocent. You know, she walked by and we went about our day, and I was like, no, it was nice.
That's nice.
That's like that girl in my class that like she came in, never spoke to me before, and then complimented my haircut, and then like started like asking me like get to know you questions, and I was like, oh thanks, you know, like she just said, I really like your haircut, looks good, and I was like, oh, thank you, you know, and then we started like getting to know each other a little bit.
So it doesn't have to be that necessarily. It could just be like.
I mean that, and you know, I'm probably seeing too far into that.
Speaking of compliments, anybody that is in a relationship, compliment your partner.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Do it more. Do it
now.
lot. Do it now.
Right now when you're listening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop what you're doing. Well, pause the podcast.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah.
Pause the podcast and do it.
You know,
then
if you're
come back to
in the
the
car, you know, don't like stare at your phone while you're doing it. You know,
don't just not.
get your Bluetooth. You know?
Yeah, put yourself to the side, man. Put what you got going on to the side and do it. I dropped the ball. I didn't do it.
No.
So I just think it's important that people know to do it. And
No, it's true. I mean, we got limited time.
limited
You
time,
know,
man.
let the people know.
That you love them,
That
that,
you
they're
love 'em.
beautiful, and that
Yeah.
you know they are absolutely stunning every time you see them. Anyway,
We got
Yeah.
range.
We
on
got
this
range,
podcast.
man.
So much range.
so much range.
Somebody sponsor us. Give us
We
money.
can literally talk about anything.
Like, if you want us to sit and talk about fucking...
I'll talk about cushions. I'll talk about sofa cushions.
We could do that. We could be the
As long as I'm getting
premier
a check.
sofa cushion podcast. We'll have like fucking 15 sofas
Okay,
in here.
I don't want to talk about copes.
Yeah, but I mean, if somebody's paying us like $5,000 a month,
If they were paying $5,000,
Yo, we buck the fuck up and let's talk about some
we gotta
sofa
find
it's
some
gotta
way
be
to tie
each,
everything
though, for
in.
me.
Yeah.
It's gotta be 5K.
I mean, because like they also have to be cool with us going on tangents.
Yeah.
Because
We're not gonna.
We
just
could do
talk
it
about
on the
sofas.
sofas. They could send us a sofa.
yeah,
every
send us
week.
a sofa.
That would be so
And we'll
cozy.
take it on the sofas.
Like a per podcast.
Well,
on sofas.
send them. I guess.
Well,
Send
once we get a sofa.
we can like send us some and like you guys use it obviously because I don't.
No,
think
but I mean, you'd be filming here. So
Yeah,
you
we're going
could
there,
use
so
the
you can
sofa.
still use the sofa.
Yeah.
And it could be a different
And no,
perspective.
you would use it more than us because if you were to stay the night,
That's
you would
true.
sleep
Yeah,
on the
that's
sofa.
true. That's true.
So you would probably be a lot more familiar with it than we would.
Well, then also, like, you have a different perspective because it's like, oh, we got this sofa. We've been sitting on it all week. And it's just like, damn, my first impression
yeah.
is...
Right. This is a brand new sofa.
You guys like leather sofas more?
Fuck
Or?
no.
Really?
I
Especially in the
like-
summer?
Yeah, leather sofas.
It gets real hot. in the
Especially-
Not only
summer.
that, in the winter.
Oh, in the
When
winter
it's
it's, like, cold.
I like a leather sofa,
I can do it.
but it's got to be like soft leather.
Yeah, definitely hard
Yeah,
leather.
yeah,
no.
because there's
Definitely.
sometimes there are sofas that are like harder leather.
That
and
shit
it's just
fucks
like,
me up.
It's just like where you sit down and you just slide right off.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, I don't want any kind of furniture like this.
Nah, I need cushions. I need like some soft.
Yeah.
You know, because that stuff gets warm in the winter. It's not as cold. That leather shit, I lay on it. I'm like, don't dare not wear any socks. Like, your ass.
That's
You're
true,
gonna be
yeah.
putting your feet on there, and you're gonna just be. I can't sleep under cold like shit.
Yeah.
I needed to be warm. I needed to be.
See, look how we just
The fuck are we talking about now?
We
What,
were
just
sofas.
like compliments?
See, we could do it. Yeah, we
guys-
were talking about
We talking about compliments.
Miles, did you finish your?
I did.
Okay,
I
good.
yes.
I'm sorry. We do this. We
We're
do
never
this all the
gonna.
time.
I'm never gonna get to complete.
How are we doing on time? How much time?
Oh, we're almost at 2 hours. We're at hour 58.
Are you serious?
Damn.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's cut it off.
Yeah.
Let's cut it off.
We
Jesus.
could definitely keep.
This is a long. We could keep going, but
Hey, first episode back, season 2.
Yeah,
first
season
one,
2.
man. This is fucking
It's
crazy.
good. It's gonna be good to hopefully get some more of that.
We did
content
like
there.
life
Yes.
updates, but not even really.
Not
like,
even
because we didn't even
next
talk
episode
about.
we'll do some more.
Yeah,
I think
we'll-
next episode might just be another tangent.
I think we need to. I think that's what our
That
base.
might
I mean,
just be-
that's what
that's
our best
kinda-
episodes are.
yeah,
anyway.
it's always
Might
just
as well
talking.
just keep talking.
Just talking.
I fucks with it.
Yeah.
Well, hey, love you guys.
Yep.
Yes.
Whoever's listening, we're back.
Applications are still open.
And this season will be longer. I think
Yes.
this last
Yes.
season we cut off at 10. We had a
Yeah.
lot. Everybody was so busy, but
Yeah.
I think we're all at a point now where
Find
we
some
got
time.
our schedules. I think we're gonna try to make this a longer season.
Mm-hmm.
I want to stretch this season out to like January, February.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Maybe
yeah.
even longer.
Well, I mean,
I'd like to,
I think definitely by December.
Things will clear up.
Yeah,
Things will clear
December
up.
will clear up because we'll be finishing our semester up.
Exactly.
I mean, I say we do an inebriated podcast at that time.
Ooh, that's
because
true.
that will
Because
be
in December, because
so
y'all are
21st
gonna be turning 21 in December.
Birthdays, so.
Oh, shit.
See, I'm the old man here.
I have goals. I think we should do that. And I think we should also do a podcast on the road.
Ooh.
Oh, a drive
We should
around.
do a drive around podcast, or we should either a drive around podcast, or we should do a podcast like, I don't know, maybe another state.
Yeah.
That'd be
Maybe
cool.
in New York, maybe a New York.
And now that we're doing it
podcast.
live, we could have different guests.
We could have guests.
Guests.
That's what
Yeah.
I wanted to do. Our goal, I think this is to have. I want to have some banger guests on here.
We should
So,
have Sunstream.
Friends,
Hey,
yeah,
That'd be
friends
a bad
and
idea.
family
That'd
that
be
are listening that
crazy.
maybe want to be a part of it,
yeah. Any friends that want to get on
Yeah,
the podcast,
just let us
man.
know.
Anybody, yeah.
We want to talk about something, but honestly, since we're just ranting, like
That's just
It
like-
honestly,
Just come on
yeah,
and
it
talk.
might even just be like, I mean, if there's something you want to talk about, for sure, we'll talk
Yeah,
about it. But
could
I
have
mean,
new personalities on though.
yeah, I mean, we're just gonna press record, really,
we're just
Yeah.
gonna press record and go ham, man.
Yeah.
This is fucking fun.
because we're hanging out.
Yeah.
This is it.
On the TurnDown.
Saturday nights.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Application's still open.
Application's still open for Miles.
But,
Applications may still
but-
be open for Tim. We may see, maybe not.
Closing soon,
Closing
so
soon. The deadline with Tim is a lot sooner, I feel like, but Miles is gonna have a deadline as well.
Yes.
So get on that,
That
guys.
made me sound awful, but okay.
He's not awful. He's just
Always be closing.
don't hate the player, hate the game. Anyway, Turn Down, Season 2, Episode 1. Thank you, guys.
Yep.
Later, love you.
Peace, love.